expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at TalkRealSolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of TalkRealSolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not TalkRealSolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
All right. Okay, so wait. Shit. Hold on.
This service is provided in high definition by freeconferencecallhd.com. There are 2 participants in the conference. Q&A session has started. The recording has started.
Test. What the fuck? You piece of shit. Oh, let me see if my mic is working on YouTube. Oh, it's working on YouTube. I can't. My mic ain't working on the conference call. Hold on. Let me see. Test. Oh, there it go. Okay, we good now. All right. Welcome to the show. This is Talk Real Solutions, and I am your host tonight, Tyrone Thompson. Today is April the 10th, I believe. Yeah, and if you want to listen to the show, you can call in to the number at 1717-908-1834. And you can also listen to the show live on YouTube. And I'll take your calls as you call in. Y'all know how I do. I'm very easygoing. I get along with anybody. It's just that whenever you step across the line, you can't you can't do that. But so many times, of course, I allow a lot of people to do whatever. But if you're constantly doing it and you're showing the platform disrespect, I ain't got no other choice but to fucking do what I got to do. It is what it is. But welcome to the show. If you do call in, I just asked if we respect each other and all that kind of stuff, and then we can have a conversation about whatever topics we're talking about. And once again, this week, racism and white supremacy is rearing its head, is raising its head in America. I mean, that's nothing new. I just like to speak on it, to constantly pound the drum beat of where we're living at, and it doesn't stop you from progressing. It doesn't stop you from doing things. What's going on, Frodo? It doesn't stop you from doing things. It doesn't stop you from living a life that you want to live in America, because that's still achievable. It's just that people who live in this society, who is engulfed by this environment, tend to not notice a lot of this racism and white supremacy that go on, especially the youth. And I love the youth. I ain't saying anything about it, but they're so they're so programmed to just get along with whatever society throws at them. They don't allow it to stop them, but they don't really. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I don't think they understand what racism is, and the hatred that comes from our history in this country. So I speak on it because hell, it needs to be said. Unless it's corrected, unless somebody do something about it, then it's still going to hinder us as a people from progressing in this country. And having said all of that, Donald Trump is still the president, unfortunately, and unfortunately, he's now going headstrong in tearing down this country, which we all told him to do. We all told y'all that that's what was going to happen. What's up, East Coast? We all told y'all that's what was going to happen even before he got elected to president. And even in his first term, we told y'all what was going to happen. It's clear what is happening. You have a lot of inexperienced people running this country and enacting white supremacy, and at the same time trying to enrich the top 1% and saying the hell with the rest of us. That's what's going on in a nutshell. They don't care about America. And all of these patriots and people that were law abiding and law and order and for the police and for the justice system, all of a sudden, they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. And I proved that last week when I talked to that idiot that used to be a police officer. I can't believe that man ever wore any type of uniform. It said he's an embarrassment to whatever organization he was in. That's just what it is, and I ain't got no hate for that guy. It's hard to get along. Men sorry to get along, but I just got to tell the truth when it comes to the way that he's responding to the destruction of this country, a country that he claims to love so much. I mean, he used to make it his business every Veterans Day or Memorial Day or one of those holidays, probably both of them. He used to make it his business to come on here, right, and tell us a story about Memorial Day or Veterans Day or veterans that he knew, veterans that he served with, in honor of this country, in honor of what those men fought for, in honor and to respect the Constitution and the rule of law, because that's what soldiers are fighting for. They're fighting for the rule of law and the Constitution in this country to be upheld. And sergeants come on here and tell those stories and whatever, and I don't know, maybe it was fake, maybe well, at this point in time, I know he full of shit. So all of that stuff was fake. These people have to put on this shroud of patriotism so they can be accepted in conversation, so people accept what they're saying and all of that kind of stuff. But at the same time, under that shroud, they don't give a shit about this Constitution. They don't give a shit. Black people in America give a fuck way more. They care way more about this country than any other race of people. I'm going to say that again. Black people in America care way more about this country than any other race of people living here. That is a fact. And the reason that black people point out the inconsistencies, the unfairness, and the mistreatment and the injustices in this country is because we want this country to be the best that it could be and treat everyone fairly. That's it. If this country treated everyone fairly, then I think the black community would be satisfied. Of course, we will continue to struggle for success and equality, but because we are the ones that are always constantly setting this damn country on the right track, that shows me that black people care way more about this country than any other race of people. If it wasn't for black people in this country, humans would still own humans as property. If it wasn't for black people in this country, women would still be getting unfair treatment, unequal pay. Yeah, I mean, women's pay ain't equal now, but the fight for equal pay. If it wasn't for black people in this country, you wouldn't have affirmative action. You wouldn't have women serving in positions of high power like they do. Black people are the one that set this country on the right path. That is unarguable. There is nobody that can tell me that any other race of people care about this country more than black people. Now, the problem comes because we don't have a large enough voice or power to enforce what we're saying, and unfortunately, the power belongs to white supremacy, and that's who actually runs things. So this election is kind of different because you don't see I don't think that you're going to see a motivated black community out there fighting for rights like we used to see. And that's okay. I'm not disappointed with that, because at some point in time, people need to see that the effects of black people and our movements, that they really mean something. And us sitting out these protests and us not trying to set the system right again, I think it's time for that. And then a couple of weeks back I was saying, if there was a movement, if we did decide to act, then we would need to be, it would only need to be us. It would only need to be black people leading the charge, setting the rules, creating the circumstances to affect change. And people need to know that that's what happened again in history, that black people set the record straight. But like I was saying earlier, I understand and I support the non-involvement in these activities nowadays, because I mean, at some point in time, what's the point? Why should we get out there and lay on the sword so other people can benefit like we has done historically? And what's up, the wacky world of TV and East Coast? I think I said hey. But East Coast said something. He said that that's an interesting title. And I titled the show, America is Now the Most Stupid Country on Earth. And the reason that came into my mind is because of the recent behavior of that orange idiot in the White House, Donald Trump. Now, last week and previous weeks, after Donald Trump was elected, I was talking to Mr. Solution and Sarge and ABC about his decision to enact tariffs on the Canada and Mexico, and then eventually he enacted tariffs on the entire fucking planet except for Russia and Korea. Put a pin in that. Donald Trump enacted tariffs on our allies, on damn near all the countries in the world. And the people that he did not put tariffs on is Russia. And I pointed out last week that trade is still happening between the United States and Russia. Trade is still happening between Russia and other countries. That's just the way the world system works, And when they put these sanctions on, what they do is they take those trade agreements and they adjust them a little bit to probably put pain on the country that they're trying to sanction. Um, and economically it does work. So Donald Trump put sanctions on everybody on the planet, on this floating rock. Donald Trump put country tariffs on everybody, and the only people he didn't put tariffs on is Russia and North Korea. That right there should be headlines. The media should be reporting on why those actions was taken. Now, the effects of the tariff cause the stock markets and people cause the stock markets to go crazy. And people were losing money. And the White House was doubling down. And I'm going to pause there for a second because when I say people were losing money and the White House was doubling down, what that means to you and I, that the White House was doubling down on these tariffs that caused the stock market to go crazy, that means to us and the investors that Donald Trump and his administration do not give two flying fucks about what happens to the economy, because as the White House was doubling down, prices were skyrocketing. People were losing their 401ks. People was losing trillions of dollars since this man came into the White House. People were going out of business. People are getting fired because Donald Trump and the White House was doubling down on his tariffs. So the conversation last week or previously, I remember with Mr. Solutions at one point in time and Sarge at others. I don't know if it was last week or not, but they agreed that Donald Trump's tariffs would help the economy. They agreed that Donald Trump, this fucking criminal, sexual abuser, this 34-count felon, this person who steals from charities, who cannot read, who is a known racist, this person that was impeached twice, this idiot who had sex with a porn star while his wife was pregnant, Donald Sarge and Mrs. Solution saying that that person was smart enough to enact tariffs on the damn planet, and somehow or another, them two and the rest of MAGA was supposed to be benefiting because this dumbass stuck a goddamn knife into the heart of the world's economy. And I guarantee you, if I talk to one of them crazy motherfuckers tonight, they will probably stand by what they said in support of Donald Trump. Now, the problem with that is, even though Donald Trump convinced those fucking cult followers to believe that shit, Donald Trump himself don't believe it. So that shows you that, according to my damn title, that stupidity is running throughout this goddamn country and these motherfuckers don't even know it. That shows you how stupid ABC and Sarge and Mr. Solutions is. Because, let me pull this up. This is Reuters. And this is just one headline. Just showing you that, oh Lord, I can't. I always do this. Hold on, let me try to get the window right. Oh. How do I do it? Hold on for a second. I'm trying to get that web page up there. Okay, there it go. This headline from well, no, that ain't it. There it go. Okay, so this headline from Reuters, it's just the headline says, in a stunning U-turn, Trump walks back some tariffs, triggering a market rally. What does that mean? That means that Donald Trump agrees with Tyrone in saying that these tariffs was a stupid ass idea. That's what that means. Because before he changed his mind, he had convinced MAGA, racists, and the rest of the stupid motherfuckers that follow him that tariffs was going to be, he called it, Liberation Day on April the 2nd. What's up, MJ? He called it Liberation Day on April the 2nd, right? When he enacted all these tariffs on the goddamn planet and caused the stock markets to crash, caused prices to soar, caused trillions of dollars to be just gone now. I know you and I, that's the type of money that you and I don't see. We don't see that type of money. And the stock market crash probably didn't affect you one bit. You still went to bed last night. You still went to bed and got up. And, you know, but at when you look at it, when you do the math and look at all of this money that was lost because Donald Trump is an idiot, there is no even trying to analyze in depth, like what was that dude name that called last week? I forgot his damn name. Brother, you need to call back in. Whoever, what, I forgot your damn name, man. There's no need to even analyze and have a conversation about the decision that Donald Trump made, because we know Talk Real Solutions and people like you and I, just everyday people, we know that this guy is a goddamn idiot. So talking to Jabbar, that's who it was, old dumbass. They ain't got, I ain't got nothing against Jabbar, but I'm gonna call your name because you're a dumbass. But talking to Jabbar and Sarge last week, there's something wrong with those individuals mentally. These people, even though Donald Trump has changed his mind and walked back his decision to tariff people they're not going to look at this decision as Donald Trump don't know what the fuck he's doing. They're going to ignore the fact that the stock market crashed or was crashing. They're going to ignore the fact that trillions of dollars was lost. They're going to ignore the fact that people got fired because the tariff on the other countries could not be afforded by a bunch of the countries that were receiving goods and services from other countries. They're going to ignore all of that, and they're going to contort themselves mentally into somehow or another trying to explain this idiocracy, this stupidity, this just downright dumbass decision that Donald Trump made to enact tariffs on the planet. I can guarantee you that. So when I said that America is now the most stupid country on earth, that ain't nothing to be proud of. It ain't nothing to. It's just that I am stating the obvious. We're stupid because our media has not did the right thing that it needs to do to call out the president of the United States because they are scared of that authoritarian. We're stupid because politicians on the left and the right, for the most part, has not created a campaign of anti-Trump and informing their constituents that America has made a bad decision. The politicians at this point has the loudest microphone and the largest reach because they are the ones that are closest to their constituents, and they can talk to the people who put them in office and say, look, listen, I understand why you voted the way you voted, but you need to understand your vote caused massive damage to this country. And if it's not unchecked, the country that you love is not going to be the same in the future. Politicians can do that. Now, at the risk of them losing elections, they will do it. That's going to risk them votes. It's going to risk them, or it may be people who's in support of them. I don't know. But what I do know is the truth ain't getting told to the American people on such a level to where Donald Trump ain't running out of the goddamn White House embarrassed. The truth ain't getting told throughout the media. The truth ain't getting told to Americans because people can be effective. Yes, they're having protests, but that's not good enough. The protests need to continue. The protests need to continue because protests have been proven over the years to be effective. But that's not good enough. So all of these racist ass politicians who lost money, and that's the thing is that these motherfuckers will give up their fucking arm for this son of a bitch. They know they losing money. They know because Donald Trump is a slow ass. I can't say the R word, but he's slow. He's not all there. He's not all there. And these politicians know that supporting this guy is costing them. But at the same time, they want. Don't listen. I got to do it because this proves that he's a fucking idiot. Listen,
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame. The people on television say my dog was taken and used for food. So
taking this from
but
television.
the people
I'm
on
taking it from
television
the city
say their
manager.
dog was eaten by the people that went there.
That is not a statement coming from a mentally stable human being. It just isn't. I mean, I laugh at it. You know, and I would be giggling my ass off if this motherfucker wasn't running the goddamn world and making decisions like putting fucking tariffs on the entire planet. It's not funny whenever you think about what has been lost since he's been the president. How the economy has taken a downturn. How prices are soaring. It's not funny when you see that this motherfucker, this dog-eating piece of shit, is trying to systematically remove Black history from America. It's not funny whenever you listen to this motherfucker talk about eating dogs and he's supporting a fucking racist like Ron DeSantis down there in Florida who's burning books. Basically, when he banned them, he's banning books and stopping the flow of information. And it's not funny when you see that this dog-eating idiot is slowly dismantling the First Amendment of the Constitution as he tries to silence the press in this country. It's not funny. But after he made that statement about eating dogs, he went on to ruin this goddamn country. He went on to double down on racism. And he went on to make America more stupid than it was before. So I want to hear Jabbar or Sarge explain why Donald Trump has now changed his mind about tariffs. You and I both know that he changed his mind about tariffs because the shit was stupid and it didn't work and it crashed the fucking stock markets and it blew up the goddamn American economy. You and I know that tariffs didn't create a single motherfucking job in this damn country. I think he said he got a 90-day freeze on it. It said Trump, well, let me see what this article says. This is April the 9th. This was yesterday. Trump changed his mind on tariffs. Trump's and officials in his administration were fielding calls from worried allies as his advertisers presented him with the worrying data about the bond market. Okay, well, that's important, I guess. Let me see what the fuck a bond market is. I'm not into this shit. So, what is a bond market? Okay, the bond market is a financial market in which the participants can issue new debt, known as primary market, or buy and sell debt securities, known as secondary market. This is usually in the form of bonds, but may include notes, bills, and for public or private expenditures. The bond market has largely been dominated by the United States, which accounts for 39% of the market. In 2021, the size of the bond market was estimated to be $119 trillion worldwide and $46 trillion for the United States market, according to securities. Okay, so when all of this money in the bond market, which the United States is leading in the world, and we hold the biggest amount of this bond market, $119 trillion worldwide and $46 trillion in the United States. When that fucking shit started disappearing, I guess Donald Trump changed his motherfucking mind. Now it's gone. I don't know. They didn't give no update on what the bond market is now, but okay, Washington Liberation Day just gave way to Capitulation Day. He capitulated. He did.
First, unlock your phone.
Okay.
If you update your lock screen settings,
You know what?
next time I can help with this when your screen is locked.
Have y'all ever had y'all phones and Bixby just start talking to
Here
you?
are some videos
Shut
related
the
to
fuck up.
the Liberation Day just gave away to capitulation date. Liana Flores rises the moon. Lyrics.
How you
China's
shut this
massive invasion
motherfucker up?
barges just cited Taiwan on high alert.
Okay.
Braveheart.
Can
William
you-
Wallace freedom speech.
Okay,
Full
can you
HD.
shut the hell up? Oh shit. I guess my phone got this new Gemini on it. I don't know what the hell I said to spark it off, but it just wanted to start talking. Yeah, but he capitulated. He blanked. He did not stand on what the hell he promoted with these tariffs. So I think it was 30 days. I heard 30 days. So it says President Donald Trump pulled back Wednesday on a series of harsh tariffs targeting friends and foes alike in an audacious bid to remake the global economic order. Trump's early afternoon announcement followed a harrowing week in which Republican lawmakers and confident privately warned him about the tariffs could wreck the economy. His own aides had quietly raised the alarms about the financial markets before he suspended the tariff, and that they had unveiled with a flourish in 1 week at the Rose Garden ceremony. The stock markets immediately rose after an about face, ending days of losses that have forced older Americans who have been sinking their savings into their 401ks to rethink their retirement plans. Ahead of Trump's announcement. So right there, it tells you, soon as he said that he was going to put this pause or reverse, the stock markets reacted to it and people started making money again. But the 401ks were hit heavy. And these old white racist pieces of shit with your goddamn 401ks who voted for fucking MAGA, you deserve to lose every fucking penny you lost in that bitch. Sorry about the language, but fuck them. You racist pieces of shit with your 401ks, you need to go ask Donald Trump to refund your shit. Pieces of shit. Ahead of Trump's announcement, some of his advisors has been in a near panic about the bond markets. According to the senior administration officials, interest rates on 10-year Treasury bond had been rising, contrary to what had normally happened when the stock prices fall and investors seek safety in treasuries. The usual dynamic meant that at the same time, the tariffs could push up the prices. People would be paying more to buy homes, off credit cards, the debt because of higher interest rate. Okay, so when I said that the tariffs didn't affect you personally, well, this is the way it would affect you personally. I don't know how you do your economics, but the majority of Americans probably have some type of unsecured credit, using credit cards and stuff. A lot of us is buying homes and and that would affect the interest rates on those credit cards and on your houses. So that would have affected you. All right, well, I'm not gonna read this long ass article because clearly I read like Donald Trump, and and I ain't finna put y'all through that. So you get my damn point. You get my goddamn point. That Donald Trump has changed his mind on what Sarge and Jabbar and Solutions and ABC all said was a wonderful thing. And that's because they are stupid. Those men are the stupid America that I'm talking about. And if it was just those few people, then we wouldn't have nothing to worry about. But it's not. It's millions upon millions of stupid motherfuckers in this country at this point. And the problem is, these stupid motherfuckers, some have power, some have influence, and they can enact racism whenever the fuck they want to. And that's going to hurt you and I. It's going to hurt our children. It's going to hurt people that we know. Some of these motherfuckers wear police uniforms. That's the danger that I try to warn about. But anyway, there is a new, East Coast, you sent me a video where it said Nick Fuentes called Jason Whitlock a token. Now, I wasn't going to listen to it, but damn it, now, and you know me, I like to be honest, but damn it, that damn Nick Fuentes, or racist piece of shit, he is absolutely 1,000% right in what he said about Jason Whitlock. I don't agree with racists on shit. I told y'all, when it comes to a racist and they tell you that the sky is blue, don't believe them motherfuckers. But I clicked on that video. It was on Indisputable, and Dr. Richie was covering the story. And then he played the Nick Fuentes clip. I was like, well, damn, this motherfucker is telling the truth about these damn coons. So what I'll try to do is I'll share that video with you guys right now and let y'all hear for yourself that I don't know. I don't normally play other people's videos on here, and I hope this don't affect the channel. So hopefully, if I'm talking over it or pausing it, that we get a pass on it with fair use. I don't know, but it is interesting, so I'm going to play it for y'all to let y'all hear it. And if y'all don't listen to damn Indisputable with Dr. Rashad Richie, y'all go over there and subscribe to that dude, because he's only the one. He's one of the few out there that I think is, still on the right train of thought. Even though he's associated with the Young Turks, and the Young Turks has turned MAGA, this guy's show is still on point. So here we go. I'm going to play the audio and let y'all hear it, and then I'll try to sync the video up so y'all can see the whole thing.
Known racist, proud racist, white supremacist, white nationalist, Nick Fuentes, calls Jason Whitlock a token. Jason has an interesting response. Here it is.
And by the way, you are a token. Hey, Jason, you're a token. You are in conservative media as a black guy that can confer upon white people the dignity of not being called a racist for having their views. That's why you get paid. And that's why I don't, because I didn't have the privilege of being born black. I was born white. So there's a limit on what I can say. There's a limit on what I can say without being penalized in the so-called free marketplace of ideas. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows. And everybody's sick of it, especially in the conservative space, that blacks have had it easy.
Whoa. Now, I got to say this, hell must have frozen over, because about 50% of what that racist SOB said is true about Jason Whitlock. I do disagree with the other 50%. That's just his bogus bigotry talking. But Jason Whitlock, the man has made a career out of being the antithetical voice as it relates to Black America. He's the black guy who will say the most extreme commentary against black folk in America and beyond. So they roll him out when they need that particular opinion. But there's more. Here it is.
You are.
All right, so I'm going to pause it there, and I know y'all probably don't want to have to hear me talk, but I don't know how this works, so I'm just going to talk. But the guy was 100% right, because Jason Whitlock, Candace Owens, all of these black people in conservative media, they do have it easy. And we've always said here on the show, if you want to make it on social media, all you have to do is talk shit about black people. And that's the truth. And white America will give you money. They will give you a platform. They will make you fucking rich if you are a Jason Whitlock. So if you have a dream of Sarge would be perfect. Sarge can be a gazillionaire in fucking conservative fucking goddamn platforms, right? He probably is. I don't know. He might have been living a secret agenda over there talking on conservative, but he would be perfect, because all they need is for somebody that has black skin to say the dumbest shit like Sarge and Mr. Solutions and Jabbar say on their fucking white platforms, and they will get escalated and become famous. That is the truth. So Nick Fuentes and Jason Whitlock, I can't stand neither one of these motherfuckers, but they having this beef right now, and this racist is 100% correct. So let me play the rest of this.
When they need that particular opinion. But there's more. Here it is.
You are playing by a different set of rules, pal. You have training wheels on. You think you've earned it? Everything you have. Take a look around at your studio, your contract, your employees. If you said the stuff that you said as a white person, your ass would be gone. And everybody knows that. You're on Blaze hosting E. Michael Jones talking about the Jews. It's a good thing you're black, because if you weren't, you would have been fired like Elijah Schaffer. Look at everything around you, because you did not compete to get that. You got it because people feel sorry. People don't want to be called racist. They feel sorry. They need a black person to give them credibility.
I say we give them boxing gloves and let them figure this out together.
And he's absolutely right. I said this a couple of weeks ago, that people need to start calling racist again. That term is taboo whenever you are criticizing somebody for being racist. We don't call them racist no more. You will not hear the mainstream media call a racist a fucking racist. With all of those racists on January the 6th, including Enrique Torre or whatever the fuck his name is, whenever they reported on those guys, they not one time called them racist unless they did some blatant racist shit. They will not call them racist. And the reason that it's important that we call racist racist is because our ancestors know that calling these people racist work. Calling them racist got policies passed in the past. Because people did not want to be associated with being called a racist. A white fucking parent does not want their white children to know that society is calling them racist. Now, that ain't a Tyrone problem, and it's not a black problem, but it is a issue that is effective. So does it change the minds of these racists? No, it don't. I don't think it do, because if you're a racist, you're a racist. But what they have done successfully is they got society to stop calling them fucking racists. You remember when we used to talk about it all the time? I think Sarge was one of these people that called in here and said, "Oh, you playing the black card," and all that kind of bullshit, right? That was to tamp down black people from calling people racist. On Fox News, they would say he played the black card, and that was to enact guilt in the person that was making the claim of calling people racist. Even here on this show, if you call somebody racist, oh, I wouldn't go too far. You just using that term. No, they're fucking racist. And black and white America hates to be called fucking racist. I tell you what, go out tomorrow. I'm a country boy, tomorrow. But go out, I sound like what's that girl named Glozilla? Glozilla got a damn deep ass country accent. But go out tomorrow, find you a motherfucking racist, and call them racist, and watch them lose their motherfucking shit. I'm telling you, if there was a fucking messaging system to identify Donald Trump and his ilk as racist, you would see a different reaction. But let me play the rest of this video.
Put it up full mass. This is an ironic situation, ladies and gentlemen. Because basically both of them are racist against black people, okay? This feud started over Whitlock taking issue with what Fuentes tweeted about Whitlock blaming black culture for crimes. All right, this is a traditional go-to line for both Fuentes and Whitlock, okay? So Fuentes tweeted, quote, "So tired of hearing that black crime is caused by black culture. For some reason, rap music doesn't make white people steal cars and shoot people. It only works on black people," sarcastically. In another tweet he wrote, "Just another in a long list of excuses. Leftists blame it on racism and poverty. Conservatives blame it on culture and godlessness. Blacks create the same culture from LA to Baltimore, from Haiti to London, from Sudan to South Africa, or to South African. From prehistory to now, it's race." And that's what a racist would say, okay? Whitlock would respond to the tweets with, quote, "You're every bit as godless and as stupid as your critics say. You're Ray Epps 2.0, point foolish believers into building what will burn them down for eternity. Many of the people captured by the wickedness of black culture can claim ignorance. You know exactly what you're doing. Demon, the enemy is paying people on social media to promote racial division and conflict. The aftermath of Austin, Metcalf, Carmelo, Anthony is a psyop. Don't fall for it. Stand in the word, rebuke any so-called believer not pointing to Christ." After that, And before we go to what Fuentes said, Brother Whitlock, when you say Christ, are we referring to the white Jesus or the one of color? Because I think that's an interesting point that you and Fuentes may disagree on again. See, there's a lot of daylight between you two. Put it up, full mass.
Well, I got to go through my commercials here. Hold on.
Following Fuentes' video rant, Whitlock would respond to Fuentes on the show. He opened with, quote, "I don't care what Nick Fuentes has to say about me. He can call me any name in the book," and he does. He calls your names out of the book, sir. "I don't care what anybody says about me. This isn't me talking tough. This isn't me saying I have the thickest skin in the world. This is me submitting to my irrelevance, my lack of importance. This is me acknowledging who I am. I'm unimportant. What people think of me is unimportant." Sir, that's the truest damn thing you have said since you have graced the air. You are unimportant as hell. You are one of the most unimportant people I have ever spoken with. Fortunately, Fuentes is a little more unimportant than you. And so this becomes an interesting battle to me, okay? I think you all are evenly matched. He continued. "So when you hear me say, and I say it pretty consistently, I don't care if people are racist." you literally said you did in the, okay, but let's continue. He did say he's unimportant. All right, he says, "I don't care if people are racist. I truly do not. People can say whatever they want about black people. I don't care. They're not important. What triggers me is when people lie on Jesus." I'm done. I'm trying to get through this commentary. What bothers him is when people lie on Jesus. And what really triggers me is when people lie on Jesus and use something I said to tell that lie. That is what triggers me. End quote. Sir, that question about white Jesus is really important right now, because I don't see you going after religious institutions. And interestingly enough, Jason, you have talked about black folk as a career. And all of a sudden, a white nationalist named Fuentes pulls your card and you start talking about how you don't care what somebody says about you. I've seen you go back and forth with individuals on social media and on your broadcast, but all of a sudden, none of that matters now since Fuentes pulled your card. It is interesting. I would like to see more, rigor, but you guys basically represent the same point of view most of the time. All right.
Well, I agree with Dr. Richie 1000% in his assessment. Y'all know me in the whole Jesus conversation, but whenever it comes to the racist calling out Jason Whitlock, and Jason Whitlock response is, "I'm irrelevant, I'm unimportant," that is showing you the coon mentality of what some black people like Sarge and Jabari and ABC, that shows you how they respond whenever they are attacked head on by these racists. They bow their head and they call themselves unimportant. Whenever these racists take out that fucking whip and give them lashes across their fucking back, they submit. They submit. And Fuentes was 100% correct in saying that without Jason Whitlock's black skin, he would not be allowed to say the things that he say on air, because black people are allotted that lane to say just some of the most horrendous, disgusting, self-hating shit that can be ever thought of. If you listen to Candace Owens, if you listen to these damn coons on YouTube, whenever they're talking about black people, they do it with their damn chest. They do it with their full chest. They fucking rear back and they fucking just go there all the damn time. And they mentioned a young man that is in trouble now. His name is Carmelo Anthony. So I'll speak on that in a second. But that is another situation where you see black people just demonizing this child and just I imagine, because I haven't seen the videos, but I could imagine what they are saying about Carmelo Anthony, and it's one of those George Floyd type situations. When we seen George Floyd getting choked out and killed and murdered on camera, they still came up and said George Floyd somehow is at fault because of his past and all of this kind of bullshit. You know, I can almost guarantee you that that's what they're saying about that young man. But at the same time, Jason Whitlock and Nick Fuentes, I hope y'all keep going at it, and I hope Nick Fuentes keep telling you what the fuck you really are, which is a goddamn coon, and you're only uplifted by white supremacy and their money because you're talking about your own motherfucking people. That is the only reason that these pieces of shits become famous. That's it. Look at Jason Whitlock. He looked like he 2 seconds away from a goddamn heart attack. But because his platform demeans black people, he is elevated and being allowed to say that dumb shit. Look at that black coon on fucking Fox News. They got him sitting on the couch in the mornings because he does the same goddamn thing. And you know, it's evident, it's clear. So we as a society, we allow that shit. But it's good to hear it being called out whenever it does get called out. Now, they mentioned a young man, Carmelo Anthony. And I think it was either Joshua or Big OC, somebody, or it might have been Howard. Somebody was telling me about this story, and I didn't look at it. I didn't go and watch the videos or try to find the videos or anything like that. All I did see was a lot of responses to the situation. So before clicking on this article, I'm just going to tell you what I have gathered so far. Is I've gathered that these two high school football players was somewhere and they got into a scuffle, and the black guy ended up stabbing the white guy and killing him. Now, there's more to the story because the white guy is a twin, as you can see with this New York Post picture right here. He's a twin. And the other part of the story that came out as I was, seeing it scroll on social media is that these two twins jumped the black kid. One person on TikTok saying the black kid was trying to get out of the rain and he was up under a tent or something, and these two came over and started bullying him, and they threw his phone down and stomped on it, and that escalated, and somehow or another the black kid had a knife on him and stabbed the one kid in the heart, and the kid didn't make it. So Fox News, Sarge, Jabari, ABC, and all of the coons are running around talking about how it's the black kid's fault. They locked the black kid up. How it's the black kid's fault, and they're doing their whole smear campaign on the black kid, right? And I'm just gonna tell you, is if you look at this guy right here, I have a nephew that plays football. What can I say? How can I say it? If you look at high school athletes, young black athletes, they are not fucking criminal. They are not fucking harmful. Those kids are career focused. My nephew, if you see that boy, even though he's a fucking beast on the goddamn football field, he wouldn't fucking hurt a goddamn fly. And this kid right here reminds me of my damn nephew. I don't know him, but I can almost tell you that this kid probably got a great demeanor. He's probably well mannered, and he's focused on his career. Even though all of them don't make it, these kids put 1,000% out there on that damn football field. I could never do it. I played football, but I didn't play like these kids. But my point is, I don't believe a damn thing that they saying about this boy. I don't believe anything that any rumors that came out or anything, and the way the media is covering it, because I did see them interview the twins' parent, their mother, and they came out with Austin would never hurt anybody, and Austin was a good kid, and while they were doing the interview, the twin came out and he started trying to solicit sympathy from the media and all this kind of bullshit, right? And I thought that there was something weird about that damn interview. Even the news reporter was going in all in, and they should be sympathetic because somebody lost their life. I'm not heartless. No one should have died here. But if those twins, and I tend to believe they did, if they started it, if they were bullying this kid and he defended himself, oh, there's the tents that they was talking about. So hold on. See, I'm clicking on this shit trying to find out. So I guess they was up under these tents trying to stay dry, and these other kids came up and trying and started some bullshit. If that boy was defending himself, then he should not be locked up. And then the media at first was saying that they was on school grounds, and it came out later that they wasn't on school ground. They was at a recreation center or something like that, right? The reason that they were saying that it was on school grounds because having a weapon on school grounds is a crime, probably, right? But you can see that once again the media is gearing up to do just like the whole, what was the guy on the subway named Daniel Penny? Y'all remember him choking out the Michael Jackson impersonator? We watched this damn guy murder somebody in front of our face, and the jury found him not guilty, or he's acquitted of the criminal negligent homicide is what this is saying. But we watched this white motherfucker murder a black person on the subway, and the jury found him not guilty. And with this situation with the teenagers here, they're ramping up to do the same type of thing, create the same type of narrative for the white guy that died. They're trying to paint a picture that somehow or another he was innocent of any wrongdoing, when witnesses around him saying that he was bullying this guy. Him and his brother was bullying this guy. If anything, and it's confirmed, the brother should be locked the fuck up for harassing, assault, and bullying this other young man. And the black kid should be set free if he was defending himself against two people. So I think in that situation, a weapon was probably warranted because it's 2-on-1. But we live in white America. And, you know, just like the title of the show is, how stupid America is, they're falling for the narrative that somehow or another this black kid is guilty of murdering this guy. Oh, I've been talking about a lot. Let me open this line. I think I said everything. But what I'm trying to say is that if these twins went over to this guy and started bullying him and harassing him and destroying his property, they are the fucking criminals. They are the criminals. Now, I don't know if they're racist or not. I don't know. And I didn't notice I didn't even put race in this conversation because wrong is wrong and right is right. But if they are racist, that would have given them the motivation to go over and try to bully a black kid, you know, and the black kid should not be locked up. But that's it, guys. If y'all want to call in, the number is 717-908-1834, and I will open your lines and we can have a conversation tonight. Miss Elisa, welcome to the show. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay, Tyrone. Do I have an echo tonight?
No, I don't hear one.
You don't hear echo? Okay, good. I'm not going to comment on the track meet or whatever that is established, the teenager in Texas, because I'm waiting for some more information to come out. But this little bit that I've gathered and some of the people, the witnesses and different people that were there that saw sounded like it was a bullying, some of bullying was going on. And one of the witnesses has said that he had warned them about leave me alone, or I got some you know, of words about this, I got something to do, I'm going to do something like that. So I'm not going to really comment on that because I want some more information. I want some more to add to what I think it was a bullying situation.
Right.
So I'm not going to comment anymore to see where this thing goes, because this seems as though it could turn into a powder keg. And I know Carmelo Anthony, I was just reading online, he set up some GoFund to help his family and I guess pay for attorneys and things like that. And GoFund took down the GoFund, right in the middle
took it down?
of it. Yes.
Wow.
Let me read that. Hold on. Let me see. I'll read it. Let me pull it up because I just saw that.
Well, I did see Dr. Richie talking about white supremacists complaining about his GoFundMe, but to take it down, what the hell is going on? I know, Carl, I got your line open, but wait till Lisa finish.
Wait a minute. Carmelo Anthony GoFund. I just saw it. Because I think it had raised a lot. Wait a minute. Donate support. Where I can go from it? Okay. But again, this was on Facebook. It's saying that it was taken down and it was deleted. Online fundraiser. My first suspect, Metcalf raises fundraising go fast. Suspect for somebody go find claims. Suspect. Let me see. Go fund removed. Hold on. Before they puts out their breaking Carmelo. Raise a go fund. Okay, hold on. Let me see what this is saying. Because I'm not going to put out anything. At least one. Wait a minute. Because it's all over the place that it was taken down. But it was deleted. They took it down. But accused killer. I don't know if I text it. Check me. Check. Hold on.
Yeah, I can't find the
This is just
GoFundMe.
being past. Let me put past hour. Okay, the past hour. Because it's all over Facebook that it was taken down. But I cannot find any news sources stating that. So,
Yeah, I went to
whether they took it
GoFundMe
down,
and tried to search
you don't see it.
for him. Yeah, I don't see him.
I'm sorry. It's been taken down.
It has been taken down. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
But none
yeah,
of the news outlets is reporting on it just yet.
Yeah, it's gone. I don't see it on GoFundMe or nowhere.
Yeah.
What's up, Big J?
Yeah. It's gone.
Okay, let me just read. Well, because the only thing, hold on. Let me just read what, because the media, but like I said, take this with a grain of salt. It's allegedly, it's all over and people can't find it. Wait, hold on. I'll just read what that everybody's talking about. GoFundMe has been removed. All fundraisers supporting Carmelo Anthony, the Texas high school student accused of stabbing and killing a fellow student, Austin Metcalf, at a track meet, citing its policy against raising money for individuals accused of violent crimes. And then they have down here, they have respect for GoFund. So, let me see, removed. Breaking GoFund, come on here, online fundraiser has raised over GoFund. So that's where it stands. So we'll see if the media starts reporting on this soon. That's all I was going to say, Tyrone.
All right, Big J, what's happening, man?
Yeah, what's going on? I want to say shout out to two black conservatives who actually said something about it. Ricky Manor and Anthony Brian Logan. I gotta say this. I'm really getting tired of you black conservatives who sit there and buck dance and shoe shine over this Carmelo Anthony issue. Y'all get on this goddamn internet. Y'all say, you man, he got dreads and he no, he ain't our kind and no. I'm gonna say this right now. After 2026, there's gonna be a huge backlash on you black conservatives and you manager niggas. They give me, people see who you really are. And that's why I've always asked a black conservative, when the last time y'all say, every time I ask this question to a black conservative, what do you believe in? It's always contained to what niggas are doing. It's never contained what white people are doing or what everybody else. You talk to them about finances. Every time you talk to them about what's going on all over the world, foreign policy, it's on some bullshit. They be silent when it comes to black people. There's a time to talk about the two-parent household and the black single mothers and she ain't shit and all that. No, I want the backlash. I want Brandon Tatum, J.C. Pearson, Anton Daniels to get that work. And I'm glad those some of the white people try to jump on Brandon Tatum over there on UC Davis. People get tired of these Negroes butt pants and shoe shine every time a black person get fucking killed. I'm getting tired of that bullshit. And I want somebody to Will Smith the fuck out of goddamn Brandon Tatum. I'm being serious on that shit. I'm getting tired. Listen, come out, Anthony. Oh, okay, now I stand silently saying, well, okay, he stabbed me, and then as soon as more evidence comes out about the situation at the track meet, but who started it? These niggas didn't say, hey man, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna retract what I said. I'm gonna retract this. I'm gonna retract that. No, they want to go. They want to stand 10 toes down on this bullshit, rather than be man enough or woman enough to say, you know what, I'm gonna back off from that. Yeah, you know what, I apologize to the family of such and such and such family. No, they ain't gonna do that, because like they want that white man's dick in their goddamn mouth. Yeah, I said it. They want to eat out of somebody's ass. You know, because they don't got nothing else to talk about. They don't have no fucking talent. Get tired of these black conservatives and the black man that's there along with them. Get tired of them. They got to go. I'm done.
I agree.
I appreciate that, Big J. But
I agree.
I mean, if they took that thing down, if they took that's jacked up. But at the same time, when you read their policy, I guess because he's locked up, I guess he might be charged with a crime. So if that's their policy, that's their policy. But it was another. I don't know if this is true, but there was another funding website that was up for Kamala Anthony. I can't even say his name, Kamala Anthony, and it looked like that's raising money. So hopefully he get the proper defense, because he's going to need it. He's going to need it going against these white people, and there's a dead white kid too. He gonna need this money.
But Tyrone, you remember the white boy that had killed those protesters?
Yep.
And they let him on. Well, let me see, was Kyle Rittenhouse? Let me see that. I'm gonna Google. See if there was some GoFund for him. Hold on, let me check this.
Well, they didn't put no GoFund. They got this other racist thing that they send money to. I can't think of the name of it. But
somebody might have had one.
The other website looked like it says Give, Send, Go. That's what it says. $300,000 for Kamala Anthony.
Okay, here's what I found as far as Kyle Rittenhouse. GoFundMe initially removed fundraisers for Kyle Rittenhouse legal defense after he was charged with a violent crime, but later allowed them to resume after his acquittal. So, but has this young man been charged yet?
They say that he's locked up.
Excuse me.
But who's this unknown caller?
He's been.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. It's cuz I'm listening.
All right. Yeah, they say he's locked up.
But you could be locked up, but if he's locked up, then he's probably been charged.
Yeah.
Well,
like I said, I didn't dig into it real deep. I just been seeing the
me either
feeds.
I did it. Let me see if he's been charged. What's his name? Tyrone, the young man.
Look at that boy. Look at that boy that shot that executive in New York. Now he was charged, and he's getting oodles of money. And people are donating oodles, tens of thousands of dollars to his legal
What's
defense.
His name?
But is it GoFundMe?
We talk about GoFund. What's his name? What's that guy's name? I can't think of him. Let me see.
Wait a minute. Hold on, cuz what guy you talking about, Lisa?
I think he's talking about the health exec. I can't spell this guy's name, so I know who you're talking about, but I can't spell it. So I'm gonna have to look it up.
Okay.
Luigi Mangione. I don't know how to spell that. Yeah,
Luigi.
So let me check Luigi. Cause ain't no way I would have been able to spell that. Luigi,
women.
Go fund. Hold on.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Big J.
About that Luigi, I forgot his name. Those women trying to have his baby. Shit.
Well, he's a handsome guy. He's a handsome.
Okay, Tyrell.
Go ahead.
Okay, he did. Luigi Mangione. They did set up a GoFund for him. GoFund pulled it down, and they went to another platform to raise the money. So GoFund did pull it. They pulled his too, and they had to go to another platform to raise the money.
Well, that's what I was saying. It looked like there's a GoSendGo for Kamala Anthony after that GoFundMe got taken down.
Oh, okay.
So maybe
Okay. So they probably did. They did take it down. If you have been charged, they probably did. It probably is true they took it down. But if they put it up on that other website for Cal, they did Cal Rittenhouse and Luigi, then if they refund everybody money, they could just go over there.
Yeah.
And donate,
So it sounds like they're being consistent, with their policy. But I don't think that the guy is guilty of a crime like that. If and this is only if those guys was bullying him. If those guys were bullying him and he was defending himself, it's not him.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
The father, his father, even though the family came out looking for sympathy, the father did tell people to take race out of this. And I don't know what he's saying now, but last week I listened to a statement and the people were calling him a sorry father.
See, I hate
he
that.
did come out and said you need to take race out of this. This was a high schooler's innocent mess that broke out. That's what the father said.
I hate when black people take that stance.
Out of this.
I hate when black people take that stance, and that's what I hate when black people take that stance.
No,
that's what I was saying.
White people were calling him. No, white people were calling him an awful father.
No, I'm saying you said that the father. Wait a minute. You said that the father.
The guy who got killed, his father.
Oh, he was saying take race out of it.
Yeah, he said take race out of this. This was a dispute or something that went on between high schoolers.
Well,
and the white people were calling him a sorry excuse for a dad for saying that.
Well, see, that's exactly that actually goes with exactly what I was saying earlier, because they don't want to be called racist. That it was probably had something to do with racist. But Sister Nobody, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing?
All right.
Hello, everyone.
Now, are you going to do a show tomorrow night?
Yes, I'm gonna do the show tomorrow night. I don't have a guest speaker. I was trying to get I got in contact with Charleston White, but no money is involved, so he's not gonna come to the show. Yeah. He's not coming to the show. But what I wanted to point out was Darren Wilson, the police officer that killed Michael Brown, he was allowed to have a GoFundMe account.
So he wasn't charged with anything. And they never charged Darren Wilson. I mean, the white police officer, I don't think he was ever charged with anything.
Yeah, and I think the GoFundMe says if you are a criminal, I think that's what you read, ain't it?
If you're charged, that's what they're saying, you're charged with a crime.
Oh.
A violent crime, I'm sorry. A violent crime. I don't think the police officer that shot Darren Wilson, I don't think he was ever charged. He was never charged. I don't, let me stop saying what I don't think, and then look it up for true.
But that don't make him less of a murderer. He's a piece of shit.
No, that doesn't mean that, but we're talking about GoFund, so. Let me see. Officer. We talking about the officer who shot Mike Brown?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Let me look it up for sure.
Darren Wilson.
What was his name? Darren Wilson. Okay, here it is, Darren. Let me look it up because I don't like to talk about what I think. And let's get it straight. Hold on. I'm looking it up now. Darren Wilson. was Darren Wilson.
But yeah, like I said, I got a nephew.
Darren
I got a
Wilson.
nephew that play football, and he reminds me of this boy right here. And those kids are not violent. They're not criminals. They're focused on their career. They're motivated. I mean, they kind of I don't know if y'all met any of these teenage football players, but they got a different mindset. It's not even like that.
Yeah, they do. It is. Okay, I just checked. No, Darren Wilson was never charged with a crime. I didn't think so.
Mhm.
If I remember, because that was so many years ago, but if I remember correctly, that's what sprouted off a lot of the protests and things that went on because the people wanted him charged, and I think they had a grand jury, and he was never charged. So, you know. So, but if Carmelo is still able to raise funds on a different site, then more power to Carmelo.
Yeah, he gonna need it. He gonna need it going after this whole system. He don't
He's
know,
gonna
but
need it.
this whole country is turned against that boy, and
And we don't need that to turn into a powder keg and blow up for the summer and for people to head to the street. And we just don't need that right now. That's why I'm hoping we get some more information on this thing.
And you got people around here pushing for the death penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing this happened in Texas, and people are death penalty happy in Texas. The death penalty happy in Texas.
That's crazy.
And I could see Trump trying to push it to turn it into a powder keg so he could get black folks out into the street.
But it seemed like with so many witnesses, an investigation would clear this thing up really fast.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping it will. Because like the shooting of whatever that rapper that went on in Atlanta, I think that was 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And the police, because he was swatted, and the police showed up. And then first it was being announced that he was shot and killed. And no, he wasn't. The police was quick. They was quick to tamper that down. Police didn't shoot anybody. He was swatted, I think, by an ex-girlfriend or something like that. Some kind of something went on between them. And he was trying to run. Why? I don't understand why he was running. But anyway, I guess he got scared. He tried to run. And he tried to jump a fence, and he broke his leg, or his leg got stuck on something, and he bled out. So the police was like, no, nobody shot anybody. I was glad they was able to. And I think they got the girlfriend locked up, the ex-girlfriend locked up.
Yeah, that was fast.
And doing this.
That was fast because I was listening to Sirius XM radio, and then they got the report of the guy got shot by the police and killed. And then it didn't take them, I don't know, 6 hours before they were coming back on there correcting themselves, saying that his injury.
But you want to know why? Because you have to think about Atlanta is probably a lot of black politicians and black led. So they was like, we're not going to let these people get hot up out here out in these streets. Get down to it, get the bottom, let's get the word out. The police did not shoot anybody. And when they found out, got the information that one of the exes, I don't know if it was the current girlfriend or the ex-girlfriend, some kind of something they had going on, and she had him swatted, they arrested her immediately. I was happy that they did that to keep the people calm. I was happy they did that.
Yeah, and hopefully this young man, they find out the truth and they set him free.
I hope so.
If it was a bullying situation with the twin, and I'm just gonna say it, him and his mama. Well, the living twin, and his mama, they both look like racists on that damn news interview. To me, So go ahead.
He needs $112,000 more. No, yeah. Yeah, he needs $112,000 more.
For what? His defense?
They asked for 45. They asked for 450,000, and they raised 300 and $41,000.
Well, who's asking for the money? The defense?
The campaign is raised by the Anthony family, and the funds will be received by Kelly Hayes.
That is terrible,
Holly
man.
Hayes.
That is crazy.
But they're gonna probably need every bit of that. Now in the beginning, they're gonna need every bit of that. That's why they reaching for so much, because they're gonna need, if they got good lawyers and they know how this is gonna be, they're gonna need every bit of it. And they will probably get it. They will probably get it. More than likely, they will get it.
Yeah, look at Luigi. He got about $2 million back right now. I mean, they were pouring money in for Luigi.
Well, he ain't gonna be able to spend it. He ain't gonna be able to spend it. Luigi is screwed.
But he needs it for his. He gonna need every penny for his defense too. Luigi.
Yeah, he will, but he's got caught dead to right. So it's just a dog and pony show as far as I'm concerned with him. It's just a popularity contest fooling around with him.
Yeah, but he's gonna need every penny so they don't put him to death. They don't put him to death.
Well, he's in New York. Do you New York have the death penalty?
But
yes, it does.
This is and Trump and the DOJ, who's run by Trump, they're asking for the death penalty.
Oh, that's right, New York. That's right, they are. That's right. I did hear that.
So they're asking to keep him alive. He's gonna need every penny of that because he killed a rich person, and that's what they trying to do, is to protect the rich, so people won't get any ideas as things continue to get bad in the country, and these tax cuts and stuff for the rich and stuff like that. They're trying to set a precedent with this Luigi thing because they don't want people doing that. But when you have and people shouldn't be doing that, let me say that, but they're trying to set a precedent. But with the people are so heavily armed in this country, and you sitting up here trying to treat the poor like crap, you're trying to get rid of all the social programs, you're trying to get rid of Social Security, trying to do all of this to make sure that you can provide for the rich, and you got a heavily armed population. I'm just speculating.
Well, I think that
allegedly.
I think that is unfair that the insurance companies and all of those people can legally murder thousands of people, and we have to be on our P's and Q's and not say what's good for the goose is good for the gander, because fair is fair. They're killing people, so they should know the damn repercussions. But they are. I'm not saying the insurance companies is killing people, Elisa, and
that was the whole.
Google.
You're right though, but
Google.
I guess they're allegedly killing people.
That was the whole reason why Luigi did what he did. I mean, I'm not saying it, Tyrone. He says it, but I'm telling you this. That's the reason why he did what he did. That boy came from money too. That boy came from wealth.
Yeah.
But he had a bad back. He had surgery on his back, and he went back to, he was having problems. He went back. They kept kicking him off and kicking him off and kicking him off. And this is what, this is what happened. He said, I'm going to get some attention from somebody. And that's when he did what he did, because of the attitude, the insurance company. The thing is about the insurance company, from what I understand with him, the more they can hold back, the more they can let people, Tyrone, die, the more they can do this, the more money they can save, the better off everything will be. And that's what, and he knew that. He knew that. And that's why he acted the way he did.
Well, yeah, they
allegedly. And allegedly, they're doing that for profit. Allegedly. Google, right. Tyrone, Google.
Tyrone, Google it now.
Well, I mean, I understand.
No, when I say Google, because his platform is on Google.
Yeah,
So Google
they be
allegedly.
They be striking the channel and
Yeah,
stuff like that for stuff
allegedly.
being said. But I really understand Luigi's perspective, and I have sympathy. I have sympathy for his views because they're not right. They're not right, and they're enriching themselves. Hell, they was at a conference up there on how to make more money from doing the things that guy got killed for. You know, and that's just I don't know. So allegedly, that's right. So I mean so with this young man, and then I just got to say I don't think that he's getting a fair shot with this whole, because America, if you use self-defense, we've seen it over and over again. Stand your ground. We've seen people murder people standing their ground and walk out of the police station the same freaking day. So I don't think he's getting a fair shot here.
Well, let me say this. Luigi's case must be.
I'm not going to say it's a slam dunk for the prosecution, because they found him way somewhere else. Somebody called, and he was sitting in McDonald's parking lot. I don't think he had everything on him. I don't even think they found a weapon on him. So they got to prove a lot of. They got to prove a lot of things. And I know he's gonna have the best lawyers.
And it was a
in fact,
video.
I think one of the lawyers he has is one of Trump's lawyers. I don't know, but I know he's got the best lawyers money can buy.
Man, it was a video.
I do know that. Luigi.
It was a video though.
Oh yeah, so the U.S. Attorney General directs prosecutors to seek the death penalty. So I don't know. Maybe let me see if this case has gone federal, because I thought it was just for the New York State.
But I mean, that should be open and closed. There was a damn video, man. I mean, we seen that man shoot that man.
Yeah, but you didn't know it was him. He was camouflaged down.
No, he just had
his case is, his case, Luigi Mangione faces a federal case in Manhattan, stemming from murder of Brian Thompson. So his case went federal. That's why they're able to ask for it. Right. This case does New York have the death penalty? I think no. New York does not currently have the death penalty. The state's highest court declared the death penalty unconstitutional in 2004, and the last remaining death sentences were commuted. So no, they don't. They used to, but they don't have it anymore. So his case has gone federal. So New York, that's why they're able to do that, because Luigi's case is federal. I'm surprised it's federal. Maybe because he ran. I don't know. I'm not going to try to speculate, but it's federal. I would have thought it would have just been a state level. You see what I'm saying? New York, but evidently, it's federal. Let me look this up and see why is his case federal and not state.
Well, they stacking on stuff with Luigi, and that's why I think that lawyer name is Janine.
Yeah.
Janifilo or something like that. She was on the Midas Touch, and because it was so prominent, and like y'all said, it's a rich insurance guy. They just stacking stuff on, and that's what she's arguing, is saying that they're doing too much. You can't just keep doing all this person to all these things to one person. We seen the crime, but they're doing too much. Just like the mayor of New York didn't have no business doing that perp walk with that guy.
Right? Yeah.
They didn't have to have the helicopter escort and all of this stuff.
Yeah. Oh man.
It looked like a scene from Batman. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, they had him guarded down, brother. They had him guarded down like he was what's that that Mexican cartel drug lord?
Yeah, I know Escobar.
the one that they just put away. Not he's awaiting trial and all, but damn, yeah, little short guy.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah. And they had and they have them under the highest level of security when they transfer them from one prison to the other, or one place to the other when they're
It looked like a movie scene though, man. I swear all that stuff in there looked just like a movie scene. Looked like they was getting ready to lock up the Joker.
Okay, Tyrone, here it is. The federal charges following his arrest in Pennsylvania. Mangione faces federal charges including murder through use of firearm, and 2 counts of interstate stalking and a firearm offense, which he used a silencer. So the way how he went about it is why he's facing federal too, because he's facing state and federal. So that explains it.
Yeah, he went. If he would have stayed in one state, I guess, but since you talking about Pennsylvania and New York,
and didn't have a silencer and then flee and all this other stuff, it would have been New York State on him. So there we go. There we go. And I see a lot of people were saying, a couple of videos I was watching, that the people are going to go off. Or it's going to lead people into the street if he's put to death. Do y'all know how long that's going to take?
Oh, man, shit.
How long that's going to take?
I mean, like I said,
10, 12.
I understand what Luigi did or whatever, but I mean, to sit out here and do all this protest for him, that's a waste of energy there. No. Let me retract that. It might not be a waste of energy because the target is the insurance company. So
right.
Yeah,
but
it's not going to be. It might be that if that day comes, but you know how long this is going to take. They were saying that if he's put to death, what it's going to do, then Trump can do this, that. Trump ain't going to be president by the time if we get to that. You know how long it takes? What's the fool that who shot and killed all them people in South Carolina? He's still sitting up on death row. That takes years and years and years and years before that happens. People think it's going to be that quick and he's going to be put to death while Trump is president. No, that takes years.
No.
That's going to take you. He allowed to be sitting up on death row for 10 years. If he's convicted and sentenced to death, he's allowed to be sitting up on death row for almost 10 years. That takes a while before we get to that.
Yeah, and then when it comes up, he might get it. And then when it comes up, he might get a stay. You know, you never know.
You never know. Exactly. So that's not happening like in the immediate future, and I don't know why people are saying that. It's not going to. Trump ain't going to be no president by the time if we get to that. He's not going to be president.
He might not even be here when that shit happens.
There you go. Allegedly. You talking maybe 10 years. Dylan Roof. How long Dylan Roof been sitting on death row? Let me look. Dylan Roof. He been sitting on but that's Dylan Roof.
8 years.
8 years?
8 years.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Now that was some sick, sadistic shit that Dylan Roof did. Now, Jesus.
And people would say Trump will probably pardon Dylan Roof. I don't think that's gonna happen. Well, but you know,
I wouldn't put it past him. I would not put it past him.
As I said, I wouldn't put it past him either.
Well, he does stuff to fight. I mean, look what he did. Okay, well, what's his name? Cattell. Now, Trump had him director, you hear me? Director of the FBI, that Indian guy. Damn if he didn't turn around and fire him and put somebody else in there already.
Wait a minute,
Now,
Cash
how
Patel.
Oh, they got rid of him?
Cash Patel gone?
Yeah, he's gone.
Why? That won't news.
Wait a minute.
That was so quick. Look, y'all didn't even know it happened. That was so quick. He's now okay. Now see, this is dangerous.
Yeah, he got
all the FBI information. Who's who? He goes in there and changes divisions. You know, having these people here, having these people there, and learning about. As a matter of fact, I don't even think he had a chance to learn anything about the FBI, and now he's gone. That's how Trump is. He's a snake. You hear me?
But you know what?
He is a snake.
But you know what? I think something happened where he don't think that Cash Patel is going to be loyal to him.
Right,
that's what
exactly.
Cash Patel is going.
That's what it was.
Something went out.
Cash Patel. He was. I think Trump was frustrated about it. Was it wasn't a meeting. It was somewhere where Cash Patel did not agree with something that Trump was doing, and it got out.
I know exactly. It got out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when Elon was telling them that they need to turn over some agents to turn over some information, this that, and Cash Patel told all of the supervisors and the other heads and stuff, ignore that. Remember, that went on about a month ago, right after he told them to ignore that. So I don't think he thought Patel was going to be as loyal to him as he thought.
Right. Yeah, but he plays a dangerous game. He plays a dangerous game. I mean, you don't do things like that. You put somebody in a position of knowing somewhat of your secrets. You know, your secrets that you got going on, or that what they call it, your secrets or something anyway. But yeah, and you know who's coming against us, or who's trying to do something against us. Then you turn around and let him do. Look, I tell you what. Look at Elon. Elon's got less than 30 days to get out of the White House. Yeah, they got him. He's got his days are numbered there.
Yeah, but Elon's brother has been coming on Twitter. Elon's brother has been coming for Trump and the administration hard in the past week. And you know, that's his younger brother. The only reason his younger brother would be coming for them hard was Elon told him to.
Yeah.
Told him to.
Elon, I'm going to tell you something about him. He bought Trump that presidency, okay, allegedly.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Elon, he was saying that since he got into politics, dealing with Donald Trump, his stock went down. His Tesla, that's the baby. His Tesla stock went down, and his company, what's that? SpaceX. His some of his top main men are quitting the company. You know, he's going through a thing. He is going, and now he has to leave out of the White House because number one, he should have never been in there. He's not elected official, so they're pressing that. So he has to get out of there. That's what that is. He has to get out of there. I don't know how much time they gave him, but he has to get out of there.
But the thing is, Elon has been speaking out. He doesn't like these tariffs. He spoke out against these crazy tariffs that Trump. He did the other day, 2 days ago. He put out a whole video on X, complaining about the tariffs, and he wants the tariffs to be removed from Canada and Europe and things like that. Because he said and it was saying the amount of billions he's lost just from the tariffs. We're not talking about Tesla. Just from the tariffs alone.
Well, y'all heard that Trump.
he's
Y'all heard
also
Trump
spoke
change his.
up-
Y'all heard Trump change his mind on the tariffs, right?
for right now. And then he also came out against not allowing like people to come to the United States on green cards and things like that. Yes, Elon did a whole thing on X coming out against Trump on them tariffs and how they treat these visas and things like that. He just did it 2 days ago. And then his brother has been going after Trump too. He put his brother up to doing that. His brother would not do that unless Elon is going to.
Him and Trump are clashing now.
What Trump is doing is costing him money, costing him big money. And and Tyrone, to you, even though Trump backed off, the tariffs are still there. I think it's 10% still across the board, but all the aggressive one, he knocked them all back to 10%. So the tariffs are still there. And then he upped it on China. So that's still gonna screw up our economy and everything too. So I mean,
but that's stupid.
But
look at you. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Stupid. You go in your house, anywhere in your apartment, anywhere in your house, anywhere where you live. Turn up, get your lights. Turn them up. Get your lights. Turn them up. Look at the sticker on there. Made in China. Your TV, your stereo, everything. Most everything you got in your home.
The toys, the children's toys, everything.
So I don't know what, and then he sets up there. The other day he got on TV. I know what the hell people talking about me can't these times. I know what the hell I'm doing. No, you don't. This is not real estate, man. This is not now. And then not long ago, I was looking at CNN or MSNBC, one of them. He got on there and said now, and deliberately said now they coming up to, now they trying to come up here and kiss my ass. That's what he said.
He's lying. Ain't nobody called or trying to negotiate anything with him. He's lying. And China, a lot of people don't like to hear this, but China's sitting in a better situation. If you keep tariffs in the death, they got more. China at this point, they got more to work with than the United States. And they don't have to worry about regulation. They don't worry about the people. They don't worry about nothing. You say you're going to tariff us, then tariff, go ahead and do it. We'll tariff you back 100. China can play that game easier than the United States can. And that's the problem. That's the problem that we have. And then still the tariffs are still on all of the other countries. Just 10%, but they're still on the other countries. So, I mean, what difference does it make that he canceled them back? But I do believe what is being said in the House and the Senate, they're starting an investigation insider trading. And there's a video of Trump talking about he made 80 million, he made this, he made that. And when Trump put out that tweet about a couple of hours before he decided to back off the tariffs, he put out that tweet. This is the best time to invest and to buy stocks. And a lot of people are thinking he did that for plausible deniability. So when they get to checking into who all made all this money, he could say, well, I put it out a couple of hours before. So that's now Marjorie Taylor Greene is already the first to get caught up in this. All of that wheeling and dealing she's been doing in the past week, making all this money, she's the first to get caught because she's the dumbest. So she's the first to get caught up in that because, like the people were saying, all this stuff she was buying and selling and doing, how'd she know to do all that? She's not the smartest person. She is the first. Nothing's going to happen to these people right now. But once we get a handle on this thing, a lot of people go into prison. A lot of people are going to go to prison.
You better believe it.
And they can sit back and hope that the people don't get a handle on this, because if they do, a lot of people go into prison. They jump right back in the bed with him, and they forgot his first term, the amount of felonies that people caught. people who went to prison and different things like that and mixed around in his administration, and they turned right back around and jumped right back in, feet first, not head first. We're gonna see a lot. We're gonna see a lot of people going. A lot of people gonna go to prison because all the stuff they're doing is illegal.
Yeah, look at Rudy. Poor old Rudy. You don't hear nothing about him no more. Trump got him so jammed up. He done lost his penthouse. He lost a lot of money. Because them girls in Georgia sued him for defamation and won, and he had to pay them millions.
So these people jumped right back in bed with him.
And he lost his law license. You don't see Rudy hugging up to Trump no more.
Well, he do, because he's hoping Trump give him some money. But the thing is, Trump them can't turn around all of this mess that Rudy got going on and all this money he got to pay out because it was civil. Administration can't involve themselves. Now, Rudy was convicted on federal charges. If Trump so felt like it, he could help Rudy. But most of all the stuff Rudy got to pay out all this money is civil. And the lawsuits ain't through with Rudy yet. So it's all civil. They can't overturn or pardon civil judgments. So Rudy's stuck. They give him some money if they wanted to, but they're not inclined to give him any money. They're not inclined to give. Trump is mad because Rudy couldn't do what he wanted him to do. So he's willing to let Rudy get thrown up under the bus. He doesn't care about Rudy.
Well, Rudy lied for him in that election, saying that those machines were rigged. And then Rudy put them two women on the spot, and them women lost their jobs, they lost their prestige, they lost their reputation. And the courts found out. The courts found it that they were that Rudy was liable, and they sued him for like $100 million or something, and they got it. I think so. He had to give up one of his penthouses in New York or something, and then I think
the one in New York, his penthouse in New York, whatever it is, he got in the bank, his cars, everything, all of it. It wasn't playing with. They wasn't playing. The courts wasn't playing with Rudy, and it's all civil, and it's nothing that the White House could do about civil.
No, and I think his he had insurance, so his homeowners or something helped him pay that what you call them all. Something helped him. I forgot what it was. But you don't hear him talking and boasting. I mean, you could not see the president without seeing Rudy. Or you couldn't see Rudy without him being up president's tail. Now, shoot. And Rudy cried out because he promised Rudy he would help him. Rudy got in all that trouble and he needed these lawyers and different things. Shit. Donald Trump got shied far away from it.
Yeah, but they won't learn from it. Even though Rudy Giuliani lost all that stuff and is losing, these guys won't never learn. They don't learn from that.
No. What's it called? Banning went to jail for a little bit, enough to wake him up. I mean, he's got his own podcast, but he's letting you know as things go on, what's going to happen, what may happen. You know, he's got it projected that the Trump all at the end of his term, at the end of this, and he's not the only one. I've heard this for maybe 3-4 people on podcasts, pundits, everybody saying that before it's all over with, and when Trump comes out of that White House, he's going to jail. He's going to jail.
Who's this unknown caller?
What's going on?
What's up, Jay? You ready for your tariffs?
Sarge yesterday was on here, and I'm pretty sure he's probably hearing. Sarge, you left before me asking you if everything was going right, why he paused the tariffs. Why? If everything was going well, like they were saying, that, they were going to control shit, they got everybody by the neck, right? Why did they pause the tariffs? If America is so powerful in the sense of, nothing's going to stop us, not even the stock market, we control everything, right? We control everything. Why did he pause the tariffs for 90 days? I'm just saying. They said that was a winning strategy, and then they paused it. He reneged. I'm trying to figure that out. That's all.
Well, first of all, Sarge is too much of a coward to actually honestly address Donald Trump backtracking on these tariffs. So I don't think he's going to address it honestly, to be honest with you.
Okay, let me read this about the tariffs. Hold on. I hate but all of these when you try to read about the $2 billion that somebody made from they pump and dump. Trump's business hauled in $2.4 billion during the 4 years he served as president. Wait a minute, that's not the one that I wanted. That's what they made. They were saying the amount of money that was made from this recent pump and dump that he made. From raising up these tariffs and throwing them down. And there's a video of him and some people in the office talking about all the millions of dollars they made in the past 2 days from this. That's all this was. This was a pump and dump. This to raise up these taxes is foolish because it didn't make sense to anybody. And all insider trading, it was one big scam so that the rich people could, the Democrats and the people, they can get together and find out who did what. They're not going to be able to do anything to them just yet. But that's what this was. That's what this was.
Who's this unknown caller?
We have...
Someone would love to answer Jay's question.
Well, I think, Lisa, was you done, or did you have something to say?
No, go ahead. I ain't got nothing to say.
Go ahead, Sarge. What's happening? How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing better than good because I know what time it is. And I'd love to tell you what time it is. And it goes back, I can illustrate it with a very simple anecdote from my own experiences. When I made arrests, and a guy was resisting arrest, and I have a pain compliance hold on him, like an arm bar or a pressure point or a chokehold or a hammer lock, and I say, hey, look, man, stop resisting, and I'll let up the pressure on you so I can get you in cuffs. He keeps resisting, I crank up the pressure until he stops resisting, and I get him in cuffs. See? Now, Trump has a primary purpose with the tariffs. He doesn't want to impose tariffs on countries just for imposing tariffs' sake. His objective is, number one, primarily to restore the American manufacturing base, first and foremost, and secondly, to get reciprocal tariffs that are within the realm of reasonableness. Now, he let up on the tariffs because parades of nations are coming to his door to renegotiate tariff rates. He's already accomplished part of his objective. He doesn't do it just because he wants to torture these countries. He wants to get them to comply with what his objectives are, which is to get fair tariff rates and, again, in the long term, to restore the American manufacturing base. So what he's doing makes sense. It's working. And that took me about 45 seconds to answer the damn question.
Right.
Well, it took it took you about 45 seconds to tell a damn lie, because Donald Trump.
But you have no perceptive ability, so you just narrate talking points from fucking Reddit.
Okay, but Donald Trump actually did an interview where he was asked, was he concerned about the goddamn bond markets? And the bond markets were losing fucking trillions of goddamn dollars, and that's why he put a pause on the goddamn tariff, you idiot. It didn't have shit to do with companies coming to America.
Okay, so you say a secondary effect means that he's going to abandon his primary objective.
Listen, you're dumb.
He's not stupid like you are.
You're dumb, so we're
the
going to...
bond markets are taking a hit. It's about debt. What do you think bond markets are? Bond markets are debt that's sold.
You're dumb, so we're gonna let Jay New York go ahead and finish.
I swear to God, you're about as dumb as a box of retarded hammers.
I'm glad you called on because this is why I called.
I'm about to kick your ass up down one side the other. You better mute me, motherfucker.
I'm not gonna mute you. I'm just gonna let Jay New York.
You ain't got shit on me. Just go ahead and mute me.
I'm not gonna mute you. I'm not gonna mute you. I'm gonna let Jay New York speak and remind people this is why I titled the show America is now the stupidest country in the world because of people like Sarge. But go ahead, Jay.
Sarge, this is what your answer is. It's crazy because you sound just like what everybody was saying on Fox News and the other channels that support Donald Trump. So anybody that was on all the TV shows defending him, because they had to defend what occurred, right, and try to justify it. They said exactly what you just said. So it took you 45 seconds to repeat something you heard on fucking Fox News. Great.
And you don't think I'm capable of figuring that out on my own? Is that it?
No, because
you don't think I'm capable of figuring out? I gotta listen. Unlike you, who listen to MSNBC all damn day, I get my talking points from somebody else.
You sounded.
I'm not capable of an independent thought. Is that what you're telling me?
Exactly. Like
okay, whatever.
You're not.
News. I'm just saying. That's
you're not.
Exactly what I heard. I'm gonna leave it there. That's all. So
I don't care what it sounds like. I know what it is because I understand the basics of economics and tariff and trade and the history of the United States with regard to tariffs and trade. I know that Smoot Hawley did not cause the Great Depression, despite what people like you say all the time. And I'll go chapter and verse into why it did not.
Okay, listen, guys. I want y'all to pay attention. When Donald Trump enacted these tariffs on what they call it, Revolution Day or Liberation Day, the stock market, the bottom dropped out of that bitch, and everybody was losing fucking money. The 401k was failing. People were losing jobs. People were losing trillions of fucking dollars. And Sarge want us to think because some imaginary countries that is running through America now, this is bullshit. He changed his mind because he fucked up the economy, you fucking moron. Jesus Christ.
Let me explain something to you, Tyrone. There ain't nothing more nervous than fucking nervous Nellies at the NASDAQ, the Dow, and the goddamn stock exchange. They're the nervousest bunch of motherfuckers in the history of mankind. Let the wind blow too goddamn hard. They're selling stock right and left. You ain't supposed to look at the stock market for some shit that ain't even gone into effect yet, and all of a sudden everything's crashing.
Let's say that you're telling the truth. Let's say you're telling the truth.
You see, the day he announces a test, and all these dummies start selling their stock off, and that means that caused the economy to crash.
All right, so let's say you tell the truth about the stock market and the Dow, and say they're nervous.
I've been watching the stock market all my life.
Listen to my thought completely.
They always do this shit.
No, let's say you're telling the truth about the Dow and the stock market, and they're nervous, right? Let's say that that's the truth. Why the fuck wasn't they nervous under Joe fucking Biden, you fucking moron? The stock market was booming. Shut the fuck up, you nigga.
He plays the game of the globalists. He was going to maintain the status quo. He was predictable. Yeah, I agree Trump is like a bull in a china shop. There's no doubt about that. But let me tell you something. He's doing what's got to be done in the long term to correct the American economy and restore this manufacturing base. There is not likely anything else that's going to be able to do it.
Well, we're going with your analogy that the stock market is nervous, right? It don't seem like they was nervous up under Joe Biden. It seemed like people were making money up under Joe Biden.
No, they weren't. He was a status quo, man. He was going to keep it in place.
I don't know.
Of course they knew what time it was with him.
I think
he was a puppet. He was a little marionette.
Well, let Elisa go. Go
Tyrone, I did hear that all of these countries where, like Trump said, will come in to kiss his ass and beg him for renegotiation. Trump said that. We didn't hear that from anybody else. We have no verification of that. We have no nothing. He said that. And he also said...
ministers that said it?
Well, no, we do have verification because hold on. We have verification. Shut up, Sarge. Let me say this right here. Shut up.
I guess you don't want to. Yeah, you just rather make up your own fantasy world.
Shut up. We got verification.
I wasn't finished.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Tyrone.
Oh well, we
No,
got
no.
we got verification because Europe done came out and said that what Sarge is saying is not fucking true, and other countries have stood their ground and said that they're not going to capitulate to fucking this fucking what the fuck Trump is doing. So Sarge is lying, Fox is lying. They need.
I'll tell you, I'll give you a phone to the foreign minister. How about that?
What's that?
Is that good enough for you? Or you going to show me now you speak to the nation of Vietnam, which is like our third or fifth biggest trading partner?
Okay, anyway, and Trump also claimed that we have taken in. He's also, look, I'm sure somebody came to try to negotiate something. But like he said, all of these, when he stopped again, how many, something like 50 different countries he said has come. That's a lie. I'm sure there's one or two countries that did do that because they're scared of their GDP. And he also said all of these billions that has been taken in. He said, they said the numbers hasn't come out from to tell what's been taken in.
Okay, so how many? The
president of Vietnam tried to negotiate. That doesn't mean a whole trove of them.
You say it's not 50, so how many is it then? Give me a rough estimate.
I don't know because Trump said it. So how would I know? He's the only one that
lies on everything. He's a liar, and therefore he can't give you a number which is objective.
Yes, he is a liar 24/7.
All right, fine. That's good. That's clear. You gave me clarity. I understand now. Great. Well, I'm telling you, you're wrong.
Well, every time Trump opens his mouth, he dies. Who believes him?
Okay, whatever. We'll see. And then you won't ever say you were wrong. Like I said, Trump derangement syndrome means never having to say you're sorry.
No, well, here's the headline. Here's the headline right here. It says Trump advisors. Notice those first two words. Trump advisors say 50 countries have reached out to negotiate tariffs. Now, first of all, like Elisa said, Trump is a fucking liar, and anybody who supports him lies. So we don't have no validation of 50 countries reaching out to America.
Nothing.
Yeah. Besides
we don't
Trump
have anything behind that.
Well, I didn't give a number. You guys say he's a liar. I didn't give a number.
Besides Sarge,
obviously, they don't come to me to negotiate. So I got to rely on somebody to give me a rough idea of what's
Fox
going on.
News.
And you say you know what it is. Or you know what it is.
We did not say
you guys are making that claim, not me.
No, we didn't say we know anything. We said he is a liar.
You said you know he's a liar.
He lies.
That means
I do know
can't be true, right?
Hold on. Okay, can I point out a lie? That children are getting sex change in middle school. That's a lie. He lies about everything. So because he is a known liar, he says it, we're not claiming we know anything. We said we don't have anything to back that up because they said it because they are known liars. What are you talking about? We didn't say we know. We know he's a liar.
Until you can objectively refute him, I'm going with him, not you.
He is a known liar.
Objectively, he lied about sleeping. Objectively,
I will concede your point. Not until then.
Objectively, he is known for telling over 30,000 motherfucking lies in his first goddamn term. Objectively, he lied about sleeping with Stormy Daniels. Objectively, he lied about talking to Belinsky.
We're not talking about what he did in the past. We're not talking about Stormy Daniels.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, we're talking about all up until the election. He lied just last week on Warren Buffett. Said that Warren Buffett. No. Just last week. No, just like last week he lied on Warren Buffett right after he did the. What did you call that? No, wait a minute. What was that regulation there? New birthday. or whatever you call it.
Okay,
He lied and said that Warren Buffett. He lied and said that Warren Buffett backed the terrorists. And then Warren Buffett had to come out and say that's a damn lie.
Get up against the wall and see if it's
No, no. You said we bring up lies since before the back of the election. I know he's a 24/7 liar. And you want to trust that?
I don't know what the number is. I know what the president said, and I know what you're saying, and I know what I've heard several countries say, not just Vietnam.
Okay, Sarge, let me ask you this: on Liberation Day, after Trump's announcement, did the stock markets crash?
Yes.
Okay, let me continue. Hold on.
What happened in 1929?
Okay, hold on. I didn't ask you to ramble. Hold on for a second.
No, because you make up shit that ain't true.
Sorry. Let me.
He lied on Warren Buffett too. He lied on Buffett too. Right after that.
And let me ask you this right here,
Again,
Sarge. Wait. Sarge, shut up, nigga.
Okay.
Shut
That's
up.
what I would concede to.
Sarge, listen. When the stock market crashes, and we both agreed that it did after he
significant downturn, the crash would be like 1930.
Okay, Sarge. When the stock market crashes, listen to my question. What does that mean? Listen to my question. What does that mean for the everyday person and businesses that rely on the stock market, not to mention the 401ks? What does that do to that group of people?
It means that anyone or anything or any portfolio that has stocks in it is going to take a hit. See how quickly I can answer the damn question?
Great. We're having a conversation, and I appreciate you answering the question succinctly. And so what that means...
I always do.
Okay. So what that means, Sarge, is that people were losing jobs. People were losing money. Companies were failing. Trillions of dollars was lost on the announcement on Liberation Day. Shut the fuck up, because we just agreed on the announcement of Liberation Day that Donald Trump said that he's going to enact all these goddamn tariffs. Now, we're at a point, shut the fuck up. Now we're at a point to where Donald Trump seen the results of what you and I are talking about right now, and he changed his mind. So what that means is his initial decision was fucking wrong. You moron. Do you understand that?
All right, so you're not going to talk about when it went back up, when he cut the tariffs back down to 10% for the most part. And I'll tell you one damn thing, Tom. This is what I'm loving about this. For the first time in my living memory, and I mean it, I finally found a tax that Democrats don't like that brings in revenue to the federal government. This has got to be a goddamn first. It's never happened before. Democrats love taxes.
The Republicans, listen, you moron. When Donald Trump was in office the first time and he did his goddamn 2% or gave them a tax cut, Sarge, the American people got taxed, you motherfucking moron. When Ronald Reagan, listen, George Bush,
you Democrats love fucking taxes.
George Bush,
I think everything that moves and doesn't move.
Shut up! I think it was
and
George.
And now you're complaining about this one when other countries have been taking advantage of us since 48.
I think the Republican George Bush famous saying.
And you ain't got no problem with that because you're a traitor.
I think
you're a traitor. You hate this country.
I think George Bush, the first George Bush, his famous saying was "Read my lips, no new taxes," and went on to tax the fuck out of America. So it's not a fucking Democrat.
Now we're going back to George H.W. Bush. He ain't never tariffed countries like Trump.
Because you said the Democrats tax, and whenever it is the
I said the Democrats ain't never seen a tax that brings in revenue to the federal government that they didn't like. What do you think a fucking tariff does?
A tariff raises taxes on
brings in revenue to the federal government.
Oh, hold on. I got another caller here. Hey, what's
up,
sister?
You're right. It does raise the prices of things, and it also brings in revenue to the federal government like every other tax does.
All right. So, Sister Antoinette.
And you don't like it all of a sudden. Since when is that the hobby of Democrats?
I don't like. No. I'm gonna tell you what I don't like. I don't like America losing money. I don't like that. So, Sister Antoinette, welcome to the show.
What do you mean? These white people in their capitalistic minds, you ought to be busting a fucking nut.
Are you
the
stupid?
way you talk about them.
Are you stupid? white people are not the only one that has money invested in the stock market, you fucking idiot. White people aren't the only one that's going to feel the effect of higher prices, you fucking moron. Black people buy cars. Black people buy furniture. Black people buy houses. What the fuck are you talking about? You got your head shoved so far up the white man's ass that everything you hear coming from my goddamn mouth, you want to defend it with your sword up.
What the hell you think I've been telling your semi-retarded ass for years about? Taxes hurt everybody.
Okay, Antoinette.
And it don't matter whether it's a tariff or any other kind of goddamn tax.
Antoinette.
But now all of a sudden it's one you don't like, and now all of a sudden you're against it.
This screaming biddy won't shut the hell up, so Antoinette, go ahead.
Sir, can you calm down and lower your voice, please?
No, I got my blog. This motherfucker called me too many goddamn names.
Okay, well, Sarge, let me say this. Look, you know, pharmaceuticals are going to go up, and it's going to be hard for people to get their pharmaceuticals outside of, you know, when you have families steal from you and they lie. But, I mean, you know, we're going to have problems. So the tariffs that he's going after is going to hurt a lot of people. So what are you going to do when people can't get their medication?
It's not within my province to do anything. I'm going to take note of it, see how it's hurting people, and I am certain that the Trump administration will take action to mitigate it if it comes to that.
Well, they're not doing that now, Sarge.
Well, because it hasn't happened yet.
But it seems like they would be prepared for it.
That's what they're doing. We don't know. We're not privy to everything they're doing and planning.
No, but just from what we see, you know, I mean, we see it in our own families, how they're thieves and liars. I mean, so what makes you think that, where do you think this is coming from?
I am concerned about the point you raised. It is a good point, Antoinette. But let me tell you something. Right now, this country is dependent upon Red China for our pharmaceuticals. There is no reason we should have ever allowed that to happen. And if nothing else, it alerts us to not being at the mercy of another country that could be an adversary in the future for some essentials like medicines.
Sarge, let me ask you this.
It's a wake-up call.
Do you have a MAGA hat, Sarge?
See, he's not going to respond to what I just said.
No, I'm trying to. I got to use it.
When is going to talk about the dick in the mouth and shit, you fucking homosexual fetishes?
No, I'm asking you, do you have a MAGA hat?
Next, I know.
Do you have a MAGA hat?
Yes.
Okay, well, open it and look. Well, shut the fuck up.
Next.
I want you to take your MAGA hat.
It says "Made in USA." You want me to
No,
take a
the
picture
fuck
of it?
it does not. You lying.
You a lying motherfucker.
You talking about being shut the fuck up.
All right, okay. I'll tell you what. Let's
motherfucker.
make a bet. Let's make
Listen,
a bet. I will send
you
you
talk
a
about
picture
being-
of this hat
shut
and
up.
the lining. And if you don't-
Listen, you talk about being dependent on red fucking China, and your red motherfucking hat that you got in your hand right now for representing Donald Trump was made in motherfucking China. Those MAGA hats are not made in America, guys. None of them. None of them are made in America. So Sarge is lying. There is no MAGA hat factory in America. So that is another lie that you're telling. Golly. Jesus Christ. This motherfucker here come on here and straight up lie about every motherfucking thing. Now, Sarge, I want you to be honest. Open your hat and read the tag, read the label where it's made at, Sarge. Can you share that with us honestly? I guess he can't.
I gotta go get the hat. Shut up. Back in a minute.
Sarge is crazy. He said he got to go get the hat. I'm telling you where it's made at. It's made in fucking China. Donald Trump depends on China for his products, for his t-shirts, for his whatever the fuck he got going on in his businesses. So that is some bullshit. Donald Trump is This is why
Donald
we know
Trump doesn't sell all the hats. The other people got to use who make MAGA hats and they're not associated with Donald Trump.
Okay.
MAGA is not a copyrighted term.
All right. Well, I can guarantee you that
I mean,
hat
what's
that you
wrong
got
with you,
ain't
man? You
made
don't
in
even know how business works.
Well, the hat that you got ain't made in America, and I don't even ain't
Now,
even seen you.
how you gonna know when you ain't looking at it?
Exactly, but I know where they fucking made. They made it.
Yeah, well, you know where most of them are made. That doesn't mean you know where they're all made.
Sarge, they are made in fucking China. I don't know what else to tell
Well,
you.
if you said most of them are, I wouldn't argue with you.
Those MAGA
That's
hats
not
are
what you
made.
said. You
Your
said
hat
they
is.
all are.
Your hat is made in China. I guarantee it. So I don't know what else to tell you. You said that we're dependent on Red China, and your ass got on a fucking hat. As a matter of fact, that damn cell phone.
I tell you one thing. If we get dependent on it for pharmaceuticals, we can goddamn sure be dependent on it for cats.
Okay, and pharmaceuticals come from Europe, most of them. We do get pharmaceuticals.
No, most of them come from China.
We do get pharmaceuticals from China, some.
Most of them.
But no, it ain't most. Germany actually, the German guy came out today and threatened America with raising the price of pharmaceuticals from Europe. I mean that was a headline. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, because you gonna have people selling off their medications to make a buck so they can try to make it.
And you have people stealing them too.
I know.
Family and friends can be the worst.
Sure can.
Yeah, because they lie and steal.
You better be careful. You better hold on, because you start selling them, you'll be in trouble.
Yeah,
all right,
stealing them.
Okay, according to the Atlantic Council that hates Donald Trump, they hate him. The Atlantic Council does not like Donald Trump. The Atlantic Council says 57% of pharmaceuticals imported to the United States come from China, India, and Mexico. The three countries combined account for 57% of our imports of pharmaceuticals.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, I'm not going to argue with you.
That's the reason to be concerned.
I'm not going to argue with you. You might have your numbers there. I might be wrong.
Well, look, you know, since I don't keep track of such things, I'm just telling you what other people say. I'm not the one at the customs border. I'm not exporting. You keep talking about Sarge says, how the fuck would I know? I'm not a customs official.
Okay, I can concede and I can admit that I may be wrong. But to the larger point, Donald Trump is talking about raising fucking tariffs on those places, specifically China, that provides those medications, like Sister Antoinette was saying, and people are not going to be able to afford them. Speak to that, you moron.
All right, one more time. Again, it is problematic that we get so many pharmaceuticals from China, no matter what the import of these tariffs will be. Now, we also get them from other countries. I would imagine we're going to ramp up our import of the pharmaceuticals from these other countries if the Chinese medicines are too expensive. Yes, will it mean there might be a disruption in the supply chain? Yes, there might be. Do you want to remain dependent on China, Red China, forever?
Are you
Is that
slow?
what you want to do?
Hold on, listen. I'll check this unknown call. Sorry, I'm put you on mute. Hold on, Sarge. I got you on mute. See, Sarge speaks like if you cut one person out, then the other person should be able to take up the slack. That ain't what happens with medicine, right? You get specific medicines from specific countries because those countries are outfitted to produce that pharmaceutical product. You can't just magically turn a damn factory into a factory that produces every goddamn thing. That ain't the way pharmaceuticals work. And I don't know what the fuck this man is talking about. Who's this unknown caller? I just opened your line. Who is this?
You hear me?
I can hear you, Jay, but there was another caller on the line. Who's this other caller?
Yo, what up, Tyrone?
Hey, who this?
Sounds like Mama's boy.
Mama's boy. No, this is Anthony.
Oh, what's up, Anthony?
Oh.
Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna let Jay New York go, then Anthony, and then Sarge.
He could go. Go ahead, y'all go.
Go ahead, Anthony.
I mean, I wanted to know your thoughts on like Carmelo Anthony,
him stabbing that white boy. I wanted to know your thoughts on that. I don't know if that was a story tonight.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. We went over it for a pretty good while, man. And I said I don't know the details, but if it was bullying and he defended himself, I support what he did. You know, and rumor is that witnesses saw those twin boys bullying that guy, and he retaliated with a knife. So I support him for doing that, if that's what it was.
Oh, if that's what it was. Yeah,
because I wait for all the facts to come out.
You know what's ironic about that, though? Now, the Republicans are pushing for that boy to be harmed, and Trump is too. But remember, it was Trump's wife that had that campaign about anti-bullying. Remember that when he was in office the first time?
Yeah, but she full of shit. But I do remember that.
But I'm saying, for Trump to, now all of a sudden, it's, oh, well, he was bullied and, it was okay. Yeah, I mean, like it was okay for him to bully somebody else, but
let's find out how Sarge feel about this case. Sarge, how do you feel?
A little while back early when I couldn't respond to you because I was traveling in my car, you up there saying that Sarge said that Carmelo Anthony is guilty and all this other stuff. I ain't said no, sir. I ain't even made no public opinion yet on the case because I don't have enough information about it. And then you accuse me of Miranda's decision on it that's favorable to the murdered kid.
Well,
or the allegedly murdered kid. I haven't said anything about it, but I think I'm going to say something about it now.
Go ahead.
And let me tell you what I'm going to say about it now, Lyrone. I'm going to base my decision on the case based on the law, the facts, and the evidence. And that's the way my opinion is going to ride when I get enough information, and not until then.
Well, you just said that the kid was murdered. You already got him guilty.
And I said allegedly immediately afterwards, because I don't want to be like you.
In your mind,
and I said allegedly immediatly afterwards.
Subconsciously, you already is still guilty.
I'll give that about subconscious. I got it. There's an id, and then there's a super ego. And my super ego took over. So I said, wait a minute, that's not a reasonable statement to make. Let me wait until evidence is in. Like with Daniel Penny, that's why I know Daniel Penny was innocent of what he was accused of, and you said he was a murderer.
Daniel Penny is a goddamn murderer. We seen it on video, motherfucker.
He was acquitted by a jury.
It doesn't matter. We seen the murder on video.
You legally call him a murderer.
So you're so stupid your eyes can't see a fucking murder? It was on video.
I got my opinion based on the facts, the law, and the evidence, and your motherfucking stupid ass ain't about to shake it. Because you don't ever introduce anything that's a substantive argument.
It was on video, Sarge. We seen that man kill that man.
I saw it too.
Good Lord. That was...
You don't know what eyes to see.
What the
fuck? I got 20/20 vision in my right eye.
Okay, well, that's good. Now, Anthony, what do you think about it? Okay, well, I guess
I think you need to teach your kids not to put your hands, like you don't put your hands on other people.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Pretty much like a rich kid him and his brother, they're bullies. And there was talk around town. That's what it is. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, that's what the witnesses were saying, is that this kid was getting bullied. So, Sarge, let me ask you, if that was the scenario, if those two kids was bullying that one guy and the guy wound up stabbing him, how would you look at that?
Again, if you use a preposition that modifies another condition.
This is hypothetical. All of this is hypothetical right now.
The only question will be then, if he was bullied, whether or not his response to the bullying met the criteria for the use of deadly force. That would be the only thing left for me, because clearly you're allowed to defend yourself against being bullied.
Okay, so we
now
kind of partially...
Now you use the preposition if. And
that's what I said. This is hypothetical.
That has yet to be convinced of, just as I yet to be convinced of his guilt. I am neutral at this point until
I understand. We ain't talking about the
evidence.
case. This is hypothetical because neither one of us have enough information
And I
on this.
disagree with you. I guess you don't listen very carefully.
That's what I said, Sarge. All of this is hypothetical, and you.
Well, you don't listen to very carefully the words. You just want me to say, yes, Master Lyrone. You right, boss. I didn't say that.
Well,
I said if and when, if you put it, I'm using the preposition now, if and when the evidence shows they were bullying him, then clearly he is allowed to defend himself against being bullied. Now, the next question would be, is deadly force the appropriate response to the bullying?
It is.
Under the law.
It is, Sarge. If you defending
we'll have to determine that now, won't we?
Well, it is if you're defending yourself. I mean, you got a right to defend.
It may or may not be. It's not a categorical statement.
It is, motherfucker. If you got two people,
God, you better go research the law, pal, because that's not true.
Sir, if you got two motherfuckers whooping your ass, you can use any means necessary to get them to fuck off of you.
Now you just went from bullying to two people battering you.
Because we're talking hypothetical.
Your lack of specificity is maddening when you're speaking of the law, and then you try to pretend you're going with the law.
Let me ask you this: if you got two people whooping your ass, do you got a right to use deadly force?
You probably do, but not always.
Okay, well we agree on that then.
Okay, so good. So again, I'm willing to wait for the evidence to make the determination. You've apparently come to a conclusion already.
Yeah.
Oh, we did. We discussed this earlier. No, we discussed this earlier. And Tyrone and I did. We all said we need more information.
Yeah.
But it seems to appear that it was bullying going on. We said that. I said I'm not really even going to discuss
I heard
it.
you say that.
I need
You
more
were correct when you
information.
said it. I heard you say that, and you were correct when you said it. But Lyrone didn't say that.
I did say that, Sarge.
He did. Yes, he did.
I just said it when Anthony called in.
I heard it.
That's how I answer Anthony.
Oh,
Also, Tyrone, you did say that earlier. I did. I was like, I can't really discuss this because I need more information. But what it's looking like is bullying.
Well, I did say it because I did say it, but I gave
you agreed with me. You agreed with me.
Yeah, but I gave my opinion that I think that these fuckers are racist. And if they are, and they was bullied, they deserve what the hell they got. So Sarge hears that part, and he just goes some damn where, because we live in a racist ass country, Sarge.
Okay, so now you get the death penalty for being a racist, huh? That's what you want?
They need to.
No.
They need to.
What sounded to me like what he just said.
Well, I'm telling you.
Because he's a judge to be racist. And I don't know what basis he did. What are you basing that on?
You, the Fraternal Order of Police, the Proud Boys, all of y'all need to get the goddamn death penalty.
Teenagers, the twin brothers, upon what are you basing that they are racist?
I said if it was, but and then you asked me. Then you asked.
And if your aunt had a mustache, she'd be your uncle. What the fuck is that?
Okay, you asked me.
Will you stop with that?
Why you don't let me finish speaking?
Let's go with
what
is, not
I
with
already
what may
have
not
problems
be or may
speaking.
be.
I already have
What
problems.
is?
I already have problems.
That's what the law is, man.
Jesus
What
Christ.
is, not what might be.
I already have problems speaking, and then you just fuck me up every time you open your mouth when I'm opening my mouth.
Swear to God, you should have trouble speaking because you can't think.
Okay, listen. What I was responding to, you said, so you get the death penalty for being racist, and I said that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. You, the Fraternal Order of Police, and all you racists should get the goddamn death penalty for having that mentality. That's what I think.
I'm glad you don't make the laws.
Yeah, I'm
I
pretty
damn
sure
sure
you
want to
is.
live the country you running.
I'm pretty sure you is.
Damn right.
Cause we need to get rid of racism once and for fucking all, and that is a surefire way to do it.
Wipe them out. Yes, sir. That's the way you do it.
That's what Donald Trump is doing right now. He's sending motherfucking to gulags in Venezuela.
You mean like Joe Biden did on after January 6th? Yeah, maybe he should be. Now I'm going to adopt your
You talking about when Joe Biden? You talking about when those criminals got locked the fuck up? Is that what you talking about?
Have you seen what Joe Kent said today under oath before Congress?
I don't give a shit what Joe Kent said. I watched the
I know
video.
you don't give a shit.
I don't either because I know what I know what I saw in my life.
But I give a shit about what he said because he said things under oath that I think are likely to be true.
What he say? What he say?
He said that they are going to investigate the extent of the FBI's involvement in agitating the mob and planting undercover agents to do so. He said they have evidence of it. That's what he told Senator, what's his guy, Kelly. Senator Mark Kelly, the Democrat. And Mark Kelly didn't seem to press it too hard because I think Mark Kelly knows that they're on to something. He's a Democrat.
Are you stupid? Listen, you guys, shut up. I'm putting you on mute for a second. You guys came with the 9/11 conspiracy with George Bush knocked down the goddamn towers. And now all of a sudden when Donald Trump is clearly guilty of trying to commit a coup on January the 6th, y'all trying to implement the FBI in some dumb shit that Donald Trump did by trying to overthrow or fuck with a goddamn election result. So, Sarge, what the fuck is wrong with you mentally? The FBI was not involved when y'all had the Stop the Steal movement. There were emails. There was tweets. Donald Trump got on Fox News, said be there. It will be wild. Y'all promoted the fucking shit. That ain't have shit to do with no FB motherfucking I. What is wrong with y'all? And now you're going to waste our fucking tax dollars listening to some Joe fucking Kent about some FBI involvement. Y'all, you remember Mike Epps? You remember Mike Epps, motherfucker? He was supposed to be an FBI informant. Y'all full of shit. The fuck is wrong with y'all? Jesus
Joe Kent
Christ.
is with the National Counterterrorism Center, and he has the authority to help initiate an investigation into this matter, so you better not dismiss him so lightly.
Listen, y'all...
Look, Trump pardoned all them people. Just take the pardon. Take the pardon. I mean, now we get ready to start up an investigation and spend taxpayers' money on this foolishness. That's what this sounds like. Foolishness.
I'm going to give you a what if now. You love to play the what if game, Lyrone. Let me give you a what if. So what if the FBI instigated and promulgated a riot among the demonstrators that day? Do you think it's important that American citizens know that their premier federal law enforcement agency helped to instigate a riot at the Capitol?
It's a bullshit. It's a bullshit what if, because we seen the shit on TV.
Yeah, I know. It's because you don't like it. That's why.
We saw the shit, Sarge. It's all on video. Google it, motherfucker. We seen what the fuck happened.
The FBI agents who might have been telling people to go break down the barrier to school, did you?
The fact that you said might have mean that you don't know what the fuck you talking
and like
about.
I said, I think you ought to wait until you see what they uncover.
There's no wait. There's no wait.
Ain't nothing to uncover. Ain't nothing to uncover with that.
Of course you would say that.
They went over there.
Like I said, you got all the evidence you don't like to see. If you don't like it, you say it doesn't exist.
Sorry, this is why y'all stay fucked up, man. Because they keep y'all twisted and turned.
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, like I said, I'm moved by evidence.
They sure do, Tyrone. Another investigation.
Yeah.
What's listed as Hunter Biden's laptop and the FBI informants and the this and that.
Yeah, we got all the information out of that, too. It's not like it didn't reveal anything.
They keep them twisted and turned.
Payments from all these foreign entities to the Bidens. We got it from the laptop.
Joe Biden is not the president anymore.
Now you want it? Okay, so you make a statement that isn't true. I challenge it, and then you tell me that's another straw man argument that you just raised. You raised it.
Listen.
We used to go
ahead,
we went
Jay.
to the movies as a kid, and we used to tell them the movie's not real. It's a movie. It's a movie, and you had to tell them. You had to debrief them and say, listen, it was so good that it felt real, but it's a movie. It wasn't real. And Sarge and a lot of other people, unfortunately, have taken misinformation from the internet and got happy because, now we got a place where we can find stuff that people are putting. Sarge, anybody could put shit on the internet. Okay, so all this information that they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. We've been waiting, and listen. I done grown gray hairs waiting on all these people that you said are gonna be prosecuted, Sarge.
Everybody can't put a Senate committee investigation together. Everybody can't be put under oath to testify before it. That's not everybody just putting an opinion on the internet.
Why are you so goddamn slow?
Of the United States Senate.
Why are you so goddamn slow? Motherfucker, listen, motherfucker. You're talking about a Joe fucking Kent, and Donald Trump just crashed the world's fucking economy. Your 401k looks like shit right now, Sarge. And you're talking about a Joe Kent and January 6th. He keeps y'all fucked up all the goddamn time. Nobody gives a fuck about a Joe Kent.
Tyrone,
go ahead.
And Tyrone, the 50 Millwoods man, what's his name? The 500 Millwoods and them lies that he admitted he put in the book, they was really going by that. What's that? The 50 Millwoods?
He couldn't believe how they went and they messed up.
Oh yeah, the niece to Schuster, the 2,000 mules.
Yeah, the Schuster. Yeah, 2,000 mules. That's what it is. And he admitted that he had lies up in that, and they was running with it.
Yeah, sorry, they keep you so fucked up.
Denial in a few weeks. You got some big shit coming out. You're gonna be in denial again.
Listen, Alicia just brought up.
I ain't even gonna bother argue with y'all because you're gonna see for yourselves, and then you can deny it then.
Sorry, Alicia just brought up a good point. What happened to 2,000 Mules? All of that shit got debunked, and your ass was sending me CDs. You sent me a damn movie.
One thing was put into question, and it wasn't debunked.
Sarge, listen.
The rest of it still stands, and geolocation is a method they use to track down all those January 6th rioters. The same method that the 2,000 Mules crew used.
Oh, God.
And you're all in for that. You don't have any problem with accepting that evidence.
Sarge, Santa Claus
Jesus Christ.
Santa Claus.
Sarge, listen.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
That's who the fuck you're listening to. You're listening to that moron.
Report that they're doing that means it didn't happen because nobody's telling the truth when they make the report to the police that the pets are being eaten.
Oh, golly. Okay.
And if Trump repeats what they say, that means that he's lying.
Listen. Let's say what you just said is accurate, right?
Okay, whatever.
No, let's say what you said. Let's just say what you're saying.
And now you know that Carmelo Anthony is innocent of murder.
Listen, let's just say what you're saying is accurate,
now,
right?
You kill me, man. You're really selective about your facts.
Okay, but this guy is running
Carmelo Anthony is innocent of murder. He didn't murder anybody.
Yeah.
Again, I said Tyrone believes he is innocent, and we haven't even had a criminal case yet.
Well, he was defending
Carmelo Anthony. You said Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony. No. You said Carmelo. You said Carmelo Anthony. No. You said Carmelo Anthony. He is innocent legally. He's been charged with shit. You got the name. You got the names mixed up.
His name is Carmelo Anthony, isn't it?
Isn't that the basketball player who put?
Well, they got the same name, Alicia.
No.
They got the same name, Alicia. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me clear this up.
I know it's not the same guy.
Let me clear this up.
Carmelo and it's spelled different.
Yeah, they're one with a C and one with a K. One with a C.
One with a K, one with a C. Excuse me.
Okay, well, I made a mistake. I admit when I make a mistake. I didn't know they had the same name. I didn't know what. I thought his name was something else.
No, it's
you
spelled,
sure?
the first letter is different.
Yeah, it's the same name. It's just one spelled with a C, one spelled with a K.
So it's no big deal either way. Let's not make a big deal out of it. Let's move on.
Okay, yeah, let's move on back to what we were so Carmelo Anthony. They got the same name. Wait a minute. I'm going to look it up. I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. One is a C and one is a K. You're right. You're absolutely right. I apologize.
Okay, but look, I will agree with you, Alicia. He is legally innocent until he is proven guilty in a court of law. That's all I can say. But Tyrone thinks he's not only legally innocent, he's factually innocent. How could he know?
I never said that.
I don't know if he's myself. I don't know if he's innocent. I don't know if he's innocent or not. We need. Well, legally, yes, but I need more information on that for more to come out, and I hope more comes out on it. It looks like bullying.
Now,
but
what I will
need
say,
some more.
What I will say is that he was justified in his actions of defending himself.
How do you know?
Because he was defending himself. If that was the case.
How do you know?
If they jumped on.
If he was being
And
bullied.
a lot of people got upset.
Go ahead, Elisa.
A lot of people got upset about the GoFund, and we took the time at the beginning of the show to look it up and say, no, GoFund didn't just jump on Carmelo Anthony, the basketball player, and delete it. They take down everybody who's been charged of a violent crime. So it wasn't just this.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get that straight before everybody jump on GoFund. They took it down because that's part of their rules and different things like that. So.
As far as I'm concerned, the GoFundMe has no bearing one way or the other upon anyone's guilt or innocence.
No, we was just talking about the GoFund because.
Yeah, because he was charged. He's in jail, and he was charged with a crime, I believe. So.
And I saw a lot of people upset that GoFund took it.
Yeah, the kids in jail.
Are they going to give him bail?
Yeah, he's been charged. I don't know, but he's been charged.
I don't know. I haven't found out that much about it, man.
We don't know. But we were discussing that the GoFund was.
This is his first offense, right? He's probably going to be eligible for bail.
I don't know. But we were discussing that the basketball player, Carmelo Anthony, put up a GoFund to raise money for his defense. And GoFund took it down. And I saw a lot of people enraged about it. And when I read why GoFund took it down, because they take down any GoFund if someone is charged with a violent crime. And then people were like, well, what about this person? What about that person? What about, they took theirs down too. So before people get enraged and run down the street, that's their rule. If you have been charged, they ain't saying you're guilty. They're just saying if you have been charged with violent crime, GoFund will not let you raise money. And they did the same for They did the same for Luigi. They did the same for Kyle Rittenhouse. They did the same for quite a few other people who were charged with a violent crime. They took all of their GoFund down. Because a lot of people thinking that they just targeting the basketball player, Carmelo Anthony. And I'm not taking up for white people, but I like to get things straight. I like to get things straight.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. I knew there was two Carmelo Anthonys. I said, wait a minute. I know it ain't the guy that plays basketball. So, then I said, okay, it's the other guy with the C. But look, the GoFundMe, the existence of the GoFundMe is fine. It's very interesting, but it doesn't prove guilt or innocence
they
one
took
way or
it
the
down.
other. Just something, yeah.
So they took it down. So.
Well, that's their policy, I guess so. Look, I think if you're unjustly accused of a crime, then I don't have any problem, particularly with you having a GoFundMe. I don't care what the crime is. If you're innocent of a crime and somebody starts a GoFundMe for you, that's great for me. That's great. I love it. So we'll see whether or not it turns out that he's innocent.
Trump
It looks like bullying. It looks like bullying. I just hope that Trump stays. Has he said anything? I hope he stays out of it. To stay out of it.
Well, he's not, because all these white racists is going to rail Trump up. That's what happens.
Because I just like to remind you, Tyrone, and this is a fact, whether you like it or not, the Central Park Five were not exonerated. They simply declined to start a new trial, because that's what the thing was. attorney said, I'm not going to reopen the case. So they were not exonerated. They were simply not guilty because they were never convicted legally, even though they were convicted the first time and went to jail. The conviction was vacated and set aside.
Okay, I think we went through this before, and
I'm just saying there are technicalities in the law that yes, it means they were not convicted of a crime, but when you point out quite accurately, yes, they were in fact convicted and sent to jail on that conviction. That is also the truth.
Okay, but let me just shorten this conversation up because I think we went through this before, right? And you're using exonerated as a legal term or a legal resolution, and I went through the definition of what exonerate mean. So whenever you look at what happened to the Central Park Five, they were exonerated because exonerate mean absolve from blame for a fault or wrongdoing, especially after due consideration of a case. So they were exonerated, Sarge. So I don't know what the fuck else to tell you, and I'm tired of teaching you English, okay?
Okay, one more time.
OJ was exonerated too. White folks still say he did it.
Just look at the word.
OJ was a judge.
That's why I don't want to talk. That's why I don't want to see.
That is an exoneration because the jury said he was not guilty. No, a jury did not say that in the Central Park 5 case.
Okay, but what I'm saying, the action of them being absolved from wrongdoing exonerated them.
Jay, don't do that.
That didn't happen, man. You don't know what absolve means.
Oh, golly.
I mean, I know
Jay,
you
don't bring that one up.
You got your own dictionary. You got your own dictionary.
They were not to blame for the murder of that lady. That means that they was absolved.
You used the word absolved.
That means okay. That means absolved. So listen, y'all. Look at the dictionary.
You used the word. Did you not, or did you not use the word?
Absolved. Listen, y'all. Look at the damn Google. Set or declare free from blame, guilt, or responsibility. They were absolved from that goddamn crime, Sarge, because if they weren't, then one of them would have been blamed for the murder of that girl, and they weren't. They was absolved of that goddamn crime. Why am I teaching your old ass English tonight? Those are two words you don't know the definition of, Sarge.
They were not absolved. Their verdict was set aside
I'm
due
done.
to the fact that
I'm not doing this. I am not doing this.
To rebring the trial. So actually, they were innocent all along. Technically speaking, they were never convicted of anything.
I refuse.
So how can you be exonerated when you were never even guilty of anything?
I am not doing this. They were exonerated.
Let's talk about OJ. So let's talk about OJ. Let's get off that. OJ was
declared innocent by a jury, or rather, not guilty.
Yes.
Not innocent, not guilty.
Yeah, he was found not guilty.
That's right.
So let's talk about that. That's a better one.
That is exoneration.
Yeah, he was. So I mean, OJ got off on that. I mean, regardless of how a lot of people feel about it.
Sarge making up his own goddamn language. But look, guys, it's 12 o'clock. Lisa, thank you, and thanks to everybody for calling in. I'm opening these lines.
Q&A session is over. All participants are unmuted.
Tyrone, I think OJ was guilty too. So, but he got out. So we just let that be.
All right, if y'all listen on YouTube, y'all can call in if y'all want to. But
I'm getting ready to go.
Sarge,
I'm taking my OJ that I think he was guilty with me.
Sarge,
All right, guys.
Sarge, you cannot read, and I'm sorry that this country boy has to teach you how to read. Okay?
Yeah, I know. You gotta read all the time. Hey, what about that Supreme Court? What about that 9-0 Supreme Court ruling about Abrego Garcia?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. But I'm happy that they did that. But they said that the administration needs to try to facilitate his return. Then they're gonna say, well, we can't. They're gonna say that we can't. We tried.
Yes. The ruling was very narrowly decided. And they said due deference had to be given to the chief executive to conduct foreign affairs. That's in the ruling.
Hold on. But let me ask you this, Sarge, and then I'm getting ready to go. How they said that the administration needs to facilitate bringing him back. Now, in all honesty, tell the